everyone, and welcome to the HSEL Nationals. It is an amazing day for Overwatch. We are looking forward to seeing the matchup today as we look to try and again see which one of these teams is going to go into the opportunity to try and claim that prize pool.
There's kids that are in my program that would walk around and have nobody at school to talk to. And now those same kids have like a great group of friends. They're happier. Their parents are ecstatic. Why wouldn't you want to give that to a group of kids that don't have it? Just because you don't understand it.
Okay, yes, they're playing video games, but you gotta look past that and also see why are they playing it and what are they doing with it.
There's not a lot of knowledge about gamers out there, you know, so people just don't know what they don't know.
It's really collaborative, like a sport. I mean, it is a sport. I mean, it's new that I think it's hard for people to understand that it's a sport.
They have to develop teamwork like any other physical game does.
We got to get rolling. This is where it becomes big time. We've been working all year for this. SLP on three. 1, 2, 3. SLP!
Thank you so very much for all of you who have tuned in and watched the HSEL Nationals. The 5-map pool today will be Hollywood, Kings Row, Nepal, Lijiang Tower, and Oasis.
I mean, it's interesting to see just how many schools there are this year and how many schools you're beating out to be in the top 8. It's insane.
Joseph is our youngest. He's 17. He was diagnosed with autism at age 4. Not an excuse. He's still Joseph.
Everybody is welcome. You want to come play esports for me? Come play for me. That is the mentality that we have in esports. All right, here we go. St. Louis Park looking for that repeat national title. The only #1 seeds left in the tournament. Nova Kid does drop. Tosi is now on. Now he's feeling it. Get these shots, Tosi. Now he's feeling it. Boom. The point of this is for people to find a place where they belong, make friends, learn discipline, learn teamwork, learn reaction to setbacks.
Triple kill coming out in favor of SLP as they now are starting to look to turn it around.
Frank, I got you. Nice job here with your confidence.
Another solid hold here with an entire team kill for SLP.
When he plays, he wins.
To see if they can keep it into overtime, and that's not going to be enough. That will be SLP claiming the first 3 victories here, best of 5, and they will be going into the finals.
Well, we move on.
All right, everybody, welcome to the grand finals of high school esports.
I'm here.
Look at Harrison giving you the
Sorry.
little wave like that.
I was
I'm
giving-
Lynx, joined by Harrison Crow, last name. I don't want to dox you on stream, so I don't want to reveal that personal information. But how you doing, Harrison? How you
I'm
feeling?
doing pretty good. I was asked to do this kind of out of the blue. How long ago? About a month ago. So it's been a long time coming. But I'm actually pretty excited. I've never done high school esports league before, so this is gonna be something new. I've done a lot of I've casted a lot of players who
That's
happen
what I was gonna say.
to be in high school on the T3 scene and the amateur scene. You know, a lot of those guys are underagers. But I've never actually casted a high school specific league. I imagine this is kind of maybe going to be like collegiate, but with smaller people. I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts going into this.
I mean, at least in the setup, that makes sense. You got a collegiate, then you got high school, both education based through the esports program. I mean, the comparison made sense to me. I got what Harrison was going for. But of course, how do we get here? We're in the grand finals. What's exactly going on? Well, before we get there, let's take a look at the standings real quick. Even the setup to the bracket for the playoffs, what exactly happened? Well, you see those top 2 teams right there? Jesuit Rangers and Sunny Hill High School Esports. Well, both are 6-0, and they're coincidentally the top 2, and they're in our grand finals. Not always like that, where the league, the top of the league actually end up in the grand finals, but it's nice when that sort of thing happens. And there you go. There's your bracket graphic to see exactly the path to how we got here and how we did end up with those top 2 ending up in grands.
And clearly, as you can see, Jesuit Rangers not dropping a single map so far through the playoff bracket, but SHHS dropping 1. Clearly, Jesuit are the favorites.
Yeah. We can actually just wrap it up and go home. We don't even cast the rest of the game.
We don't even need to play. There you go. We can just give them the prize, which is a 5K scholarship to a school of their choice, split amongst the players, which is, every little bit helps. So I'm sure they're going to be playing their hearts out. But honestly, yeah, I mean, just the fact that, Jesuit has been flawless through the playoff bracket. They were at the top of the league. They're probably going to be the favorites, just looking at it from a statistical standpoint. Of course, Carter and I, we're not too familiar with the teams. I don't really know what to expect. Again, I'm thinking maybe the meta is going to be a little bit similar to collegiate, which is slightly different from other competitive leagues. But I'm sure we'll still be able to recognize a lot of stuff like Thatcher bands,
Yeah,
Mira bands.
they still
all the fun stuff about competitive.
Obviously, with every different scene, there's their own competitive ecosystem, their own bubble. But exactly, there will be some translation, so it's not like we're flying blind here. We generally know what's going on. But hey, if we want to talk about both the teams, as Harrison talked about, the Jesuit Rangers, they have gone flawless in the playoffs so far. We're not dropped a map, while Sunny Hills, they dropped that one map, so going in, they do statistically at the very least. Jesuit Rangers look like the favorite, but hey, let's just talk about the teams. We're in grand finals right now. If we want to take a look at both, who's on these rosters? Because Harrison, as you know, we need to be well acquainted with them. I'm sure they're all nice guys. What do you think? You had problems pronouncing Jesuit before the show even started.
Yeah,
so.
I kept seeing the word Jesuit, and I was like, man, that looks like je suis, which is French, and I couldn't. I hang around too many Frenchies, man. I think that's what the problem is.
This man could tell you what Rocco's basilisk is or what nuclear pasta is, but he can't pronounce the word Jesuit.
I give you a 3-sentence summary of Nietzsche's philosophy, but I do Jesuit. It's a struggle. But as far as I'm aware, because some of these teams have some extra players, members of Jesuit consist of Kingbro, Shoes Raggedy, Sad Oatmeal, We Are Bots, and Reed Sync.
One thing I'm going to say,
those are some winning names.
To all you high school players, your names are much better than the names in the amateur C to T2. All the ones they're like one word, but these they're like Sad Oatmeal. That is an outstanding name.
Sad Oatmeal and Shoes Raggedy right now, they're winners in my book. I've actually seen Reed Sync kind of around the amateur
we were
community.
talking about that before.
Yeah, I haven't casted him just yet, but I've seen him like on Twitter and stuff too, because Twitter is a very important part of being in the competitive Rainbow Six scene. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sunny Hills High School, we have Prophet, Jobu, shout out Yachty, that's a great name, Arhav, and Rock. Rock.7sins, but I'm going to assume that's just Rock. I don't know if the X is in place of a different vowel.
That's usually what it is.
But I'm going to hope not, because I mean, what else would it be?
I don't know. Right? I didn't make the name.
Exactly.
I mean, what is an X often? What is an X often used for? It's used usually in place of another letter. X is a variable in math. You replace it there. Come on, like you're really fumbling the bag here. Like, how do you have this college level knowledge? But
no.
It's like reason that one out.
Like in let's say like Ghost, right? Who is on Beast Coast? Like the X was in place of the O.
Yeah.
But like the word is spelled like normally, but this guy it's ROXCK. So like
it's replacing the 2 letters. Same thing. Either way. Enough of that. We have the map set up. Excuse me. Words are already hard, so it's going to be a challenging grand finals for me at least. But there you go. First map up going to be Cafe Dostoyevsky, followed by Oregon. Everyone's favorite map that just is always around.
Oregon.
It's like Scott Pilgrim. He's always in the back, but he can never seem to shake him. Villa, the third map, Consulate number 4, and Coastline number 5. I'm a big fan of Coast personally, so if this goes all 5 maps, I'll be very happy. Not as much a fan of Consulate, but I won't hold that against the teams, of course. But so we're actually going to get a pretty good taste of Siege overall, starting out with some more structured maps, going to Villa, which can be kind of an in-between, then ending with Consulate Coastline if we need maps 4 and 5. Honestly, kind of hitting all the spots you'd want to see in the grand finals of a league.
Yeah, I think Cafe is probably going to be pretty telling of the tone and the pace of the match as a whole, because just like Villa, Cafe can be, either really utility heavy if you've got a Thatcher and Hibana ban, and you're focusing more on intel focus bands like the Mira and the Valkyrie, or it can be pretty frag heavy when you leave the Valkyrie up so you can take out like a Wamai and kind of relieve some of that shield play that you see a lot on this map. So I feel like that's going to be a good indicator. Again, like you said, Villa kind of falls in that same kind of category as Cafe, whereas Oregon, typically very structured, Consulate and Coastline, very loose. So I too, I'm satisfied with this map pool. Of course, I still have a personal vendetta against Oregon, but I'll let that slide. Not the state, the map. It's also if you're not around the community, we also like to call that Borigan and Snorrigan.
Usually some portmanteau of a word synonymous with sleeping.
I don't want to cast this map anymore again.
That one less so with sleeping and more so of the personal vendetta, but still the same message. Yeah, no, Oregon isn't great, but honestly, if we're looking at a situation, we were talking about how Jesuit Rangers were the favorites. Obviously, we're about to get into map 1, so if they truly are the favorites, this will be the test to see if they are, but we're to discuss the map bans for just a little bit longer. If Jesuit Rangers, Jesuit Dallas, as you can see on the overlay, if they end up being the favorites, and let's say they go up 2-0 in the series, if Sunny Hills are struggling, Villa could be a good place for them to turn it around because, if they struggle with that more structured play and they're more frag heavy, then hey, you can start to turn it around.
Oh, and it looks like Jesuit should be on defense.
Not done yet. But hey, we saw one thing. We saw one thing, and guess what it was?
The splash screen.
No. What we saw a ban.
Oh wait, we did.
We saw one ban.
I was distracted by chat. Was it Thatcher?
It was a Thatcher. It was a Thatcher is what I was going to say. For those of you who are not aware, kind of like Oregon, how it always seems to be around, Thatcher bans have been ever present in the meta for quite a long time. In fact, it started out as kind of that, banning Thatcher in Pro League. And then Pro League were like, hey, what if we just did that all the time? And then they did it. They did it so often, it trickled down, and it just hasn't really changed all that much.
Even in ranked.
Even in ranked.
Even in unranked. People ban Thatcher in unranked.
Dude.
Like, are you trying to have fun?
Yeah,
why
exactly.
Are you doing it? But yeah, Thatcher, I mean, it's just Thatcher is just, it's kind of like,
it's not a ban that doesn't make sense. Don't get us wrong.
It's kind of like Mira, or how Mira used to be, right? Where before the operator bans were in place, you had strategies with Mira and without Mira. Most of them were with Mira. Mira, Smoke, and Jaeger were the top.
It was kind of a troll to not bring her for sub maps.
Yeah, it's like not bringing a Jaeger or a Smoke. That's how Mira used to be. So once operator bans came through, people started banning the Mira to catch teams without solid Mira strategies off guard.
Relentlessly.
Yeah, it was like an 85% ban rate or something at some point.
It was something like that. It reached the point to where teams, even if Mira was unbanned, even if they had Mira strats and were a good Mira team, would just not bring her because they didn't practice with her anymore.
Yeah, because teams just started assuming the Mira was going to get banned, and they just started banning it. So Thatcher has now kind of fallen in the same place where Thatcher is very polarizing. A map with a Thatcher up is a completely different meta than a map with no Thatcher, because with a Thatcher up, Cade's impact is very much diminished.
All Harbor is diminished.
Yeah, Bandit comes more into play because you can actually trick, but of course that's kind of site dependent on whether or not you can Bandit trick. More intel ops usually come through because the EMPs aren't going to affect that on site. The shield play gets a little bit reduced because he can knock out those Wamidis or those ADSs out from behind walls. But unlike the Mira, if Thatcher is left up, he is going to be brought nearly 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Even if a team plays better without him. That's the really weird part, and that's kind of the dichotomy between Thatcher and Mira. They're both very polarizing, but whereas a lot of times you won't bring the Mira just because you don't have defensive holds without her, you will almost always bring Thatcher when he's left up, especially on maps like Cafe, like Oregon, and like Clubhouse. So we'll probably see, again, that repeat ban because it was already locked in.
There you go.
And there you go. There's the Thatcher.
Yeah. TLDR, if you're just tuning in now and you're like, what are they talking about right now? Thatcher bans are incredibly powerful, and because of how much you can disable those EMPs, ADSs, hard breach now, virtually everything electronic in the game, getting him off the board is, as at this point, a comfort ban for every team as much as he is a comfort pick. Sunny Hills for their attacking ban. They're going to pick Ash. Ooh. Ash is one of those bans where you don't see her often, but often enough where you generally know what it does. And what it does is it's twofold. One, it's meant to throw a team off balance. Those entry fraggers, those primary entries specifically, are often on that Ash roll because of her agility, good weapon. But on top of that, especially in recent years, her utility has become just as important as well. With all the bulletproof and destructible gadgets you have to destroy, like deployable shields or evil eyes, for example. Taking out that pigeonholes some certain members on the attacking team to, making Zofia much more necessary, making frag grenades much more necessary. So taking out that Ashe, while it could throw a fragger off balance, it also makes the utility game of the attack that much harder. Mira, Harrison already explained in depth. It's a comfort pick as well. Black Mirrors can single-handedly redirect or force the attackers to redirect their attacking strategy, and Valkyrie, in a similar vein to Mira, albeit in a different area. Whereas Mira, you put a Black Mirror in a position, you sit behind it, and you hold that point until you have to rotate off. Valkyrie allows for much more flexibility. Allows for the defenders to kind of engage in some hit and run and gain intel on the attacking team, which is the most important part, are her 3 black eye cams. In tandem with the C4, it can be destructive for any attacking team's lineup, but it's a comfort pick to get rid of her. You don't want to have to go searching for those black eyes, and you don't want to worry about a C4 from below. And taking her off the board, it'll certainly make Sunny Hills much more comfortable on their attacking half.
Yeah, the Ashe ban is definitely the
it's the black sheep of the group.
Off one, yeah, that we have in the 4. And that typically you only see the Ashe ban as a direct
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
perfect
defused by
example,
attackers.
Nyx. Pro, when he was on Team Reciprocity, a lot of people would just ban Ashe against him, and there you go. He's completely disabled on the impact.
Cut off his legs.
Easy as that. Yep. And so that's typically what you see from an Ashe ban. And like I said, Valkyrie, Mira, Thatcher, they're all comfort, especially Valkyrie. As you can see from the overhead view, Cafe is a big box. It is one.
It is a big square.
Big square rectangle thingy. And so if you throw a Valkyrie camera outside, you have a full view of 2 sides of the building. And depending on especially if you know where the attack is going to come from, that is a very powerful asset to have as the defense. But usually a Valkyrie ban follows a Nomad ban, because when someone bans Nomad, that means they're going to want to run out. They're going to want to play aggressive, and who helps facilitate that? The Valkyrie. But taking the Valkyrie off the board while also simultaneously leaving the Nomad up might dissuade a lot of that aggressive play from Jesuit, at least in this first half.
They'll also paint a target on Jobu's back. Of course, you don't exactly know who you're attacking. You can't hunt down an attacker specifically, but if they know that the Nomad is down, or more importantly, if the Nomad is down and has air jabs in her pocket, that could make the defense feel emboldened, not just because of the man advantage, but because they've taken out such a pivotal role. Of course, they also don't know if the air jabs are down, and, well, in fact, Jobu will only have one of his pocket. He's already used 2, likely on the outside to prevent any run-outs from the defense, because even though Valkyrie's off the board, that style of play is still very much possible. From the side of Sunny Hills, we're seeing a standard clear. Starting on the roof, moving down through the hatches, and since the first side is Cocktail, they might concern themselves a little bit with the second floor, but the main points of attack are going to be taking down Pixel inside a Cigar, pushing up White, as well as trying to get a plant down on the long bar of Cocktail. Right now, ReedSync playing downstairs, same alongside Sad Oatmeal, won't meet much aggression because Sunny Hill, they're only focusing on that upstairs presence. At least they have been in the first minute and a half.
Yeah, like I said, it's already been a minute and a half. Half the round is gone, and they have not even dropped the red hatch yet? That's a little bit concerning. Normally you see a team drop the hatch, open that red wall, and start applying that piano pressure within the first minute, maybe minute 15. But it's been a lot of wasted time. At least Arhav is already down inside of Cigar. Next step, of course, is now that he has this control, to open up that red wall. ReedSync is already moving into the new Valk, and he's actually dropping the diffuser for his Twitch, which is definitely a little bit odd. Usually the Twitch, being a more frag-centric operator is not your primary planter, and the diffuser will continue to change hands amongst the attackers. Shoes Raggedy, of course, holding this tiny little pixel. It's a very common angle held right towards the outer bar. 90 Cam still up, assisting Sad Oatmeal's roam as well. They'll spot Arhav trying to creep his way down red. Sad Oatmeal, I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard a C4 blast go off. Either way, it either missed or was pre-placed and will no longer be used, as Arhav will be able to successfully hunt down that downstairs player, and he can start walking up White, but ReedSync is there for the instant trade. It's a 4v4 now, and there's only 28 seconds left for Sunny Hills to execute.
Especially importantly, We Are Bots is left inside a bathroom. Sitting here with a pump shotgun can be detrimental to an attacking team's plan, especially when you don't have much map control overall and your bottom presence was taken down. Bro from all the way inside of Freezer will take the head off of Jobu, but there's shout out Yachty with the refrag. Bro still fragging out, will continue the trades in Sunny Hill's favor, and with Jesuit's favor, excuse me. And well, Sunny Hill, they don't have much of anything after that triple from King Bro. Yato would be forced to sit there and watch the round crumble in his hands. Jesuit Dallas, pretty dominant first round, all things considered, aided by the fact that Sunny Hills didn't really seem to have much of a plan of attack.
Yeah, they took a minute. Again, I hate to rehash this point, but I mean, a lot of that round was just down to the fact that they took a minute and a half to even get into Cigar and Red, and I don't even think they ever. I didn't hear the ace charge go off. They might not have actually opened that red wall. I don't know. Either way, I mean, clearing the roamer downstairs, that's good. That's fine and dandy, but when you're sending off that one attacker on an island with very little intel and he's going to get insta-traded, and now you have no more back pressure, and you're pushing through doorways with 30 seconds left against a smoke with full utility, a shield in freezer, and a maestro still hugging that cocktail reinforcement, that's a pretty damn tough execute, and not one that a lot of attacking teams are going to be able to walk away with. So hopefully we see Sunny Hills amend their time management problems in this next round, as now they have to clear into reading, which is essentially the cocktail attack, but now you have to go downstairs too.
Yeah. Which, again, that was where the first little bit of action happened, taking down Sad Oatmeal on the roam, but again, as you said, it's quickly traded out by Reed Sync. Sunny Hills certainly looked, at the very least, skittish due to whether it be nerves or a lack of intel, whatever it was. It's only the first round, and in a best of 5, there is plenty of time to remedy that issue, but that's going to be a persistent problem for Sunny Hills, whether it be that intel or their mental. It is going to be a rough series from them, no matter what map they're on. But reading will be a good place to try and hone their teeth. As you said, there's an extra addition to that cocktail defense, and that you have to go downstairs. That's where the site is. But you still have to clear out cocktail because, as Jesuit Dallas are showing, they're running an extension, as we often see. But here, Sunny Hills are going to have a rough time. They're bringing a Mute and a Mozzie. If the attacking team's intel game was already rough to begin with, facing both a Mute and a Mozzie in tandem will only make things worse. You have those pests, which deny entrance to certain rooms, depending on where they're placed, and same with the Mute Jammers. But on top of that, you could also potentially get reinforcements denied. Those ace charges have struggled to use. Well, now they have to deal with Mute Jammers as well. So overall, this is Sunny Hills' worst nightmare on attack right now. If their problems in the very first round were anything to go off of, at the very least, they'll make an entry much quicker than the one they had last time. Shout out Yachty moving quickly behind a drone inside of Cigar. They'll find a castle barricade in his way and likely have to destroy it. But hey, if we're starting out and their time management is already looking marginally better, at least from what we saw previous round, Sunny Hills already seem to be at the very least making some improvements to their game plan.
Yeah, the real question for me is, like you said, their time management seems to be a little bit better, but of course, once you take that top floor control, you need to start working downwards. You need to work the vertical, and that's going to be Rock's job on the sledge. He is a pivotal operator to take that control and use his utility. You already saw one of those Mute Jammers. That'll be dispatched of, as it was over by the pixel doorway. Luckily, though, there is a sledge, so that's not going to prove too much of a headache for the attack of Sunny Hills. But again, time management is the name of the game. There's only about a minute 15 left, and they have not cleared out Reed Sync. However, shout out Yachty is going to get the first pick onto We Are Bots. That Mute roaming upstairs, and that's a C4 now down. He'll connect another one as Reed Sync is unable to fall back down the white stairs, and King Bro cannot find the trade. Now 5 versus 3, Sunny Hills with a 2-man advantage. They'll start going ahead and using that vert play to their advantage.
That was especially risky, and you saw that kind of snafu on the castle barricade. It looked like they could have easily gotten stunned by the Mute Jammers, but finding those 2 opening picks is crucial. Now it's just, you have to see if they're good at watching the flank. Another big part of the attacking team. King Bro moving up white will find rocks, and that is your sledge down. Sure, you have breach charges, but losing that sledge, even whatever soft destruction he had, you have to dedicate 1 more body upstairs now that you've lost the 1, and that's less for your execute down below, which, with King Bro and everyone still on the site, at the very least playing in their power positions, it's going to be risky for Sunny Hills, even though they have the man advantage with only 20 seconds left. There's so many angles they have to cover, with virtually all of second floor relatively uncontested. Now they'll start to drop down. Prophet with the diffuser will likely move in behind the bookshelf, get the plant inside of default. Smokes go out, cover the cross. It's now up on the rest of his team to watch the angles. Arhav will find success on Oatmeal. Bro falls as well. It's all left up to Shoes. Raggedy inside of Mining, now rotated inside of Pillars to make the all-the work. And in a 1v4, it's a tall task. He won't even make any headway whatsoever. Jobu takes his head off, and Sunny Hills redeem themselves. After a shaking round 1, they look dominant in round 2.
And a big 3K from Shoutout Yachty. Very well played on the entry. Sunny Hills, it looked like, although their time management could have been better, it was not the end-all, be-all because of that man advantage they had accrued earlier in the round. With that top floor clear, didn't seem like their intel was too dissuaded, because the only mute jammer upstairs, at least from what I could see, was that one on the pixel doorway. Because when we saw earlier in the round when they were droning into Cocktail through the double door from bar, there wasn't even any static, which means there was no jammer. There was no jammer by Freezer. There was no jammer on the castle barricade. There was no jammer in Cocktail, period. So a lot of those jammers were probably down on the site itself. But when you have all that vertical control, which I'm sure, you know, Rock might have liked to get more of, but once you have that control inside a pillar and you have the balconies covered and you have just enough manpower, you can play for the trades. And they didn't even really need to. Once they lost Rock, they didn't lose a single other man. And that was a much better played round there from Sunny Hills. Jesuit not wanting to go reading again. They will keep on the carousel of sites. And something that I've definitely noticed is Jesuit has stuck the same, nearly the same 5 operators every round, with the exception of Sad Oatmeal from round number 1, he was playing something different. But Sunny Hills has switched up a lot.
They've certainly Sunny Hills have shown a willingness to trade ops. You remember Arhav, who got the opening pick in round number 1. He was on the Twitch. Now it's shout out Yachty on the Twitch, and Yachty was on the Zofia, but now Rox is on the Zofia, who before was Yachty, and now Rox, who is the Sledge, has given that role to Arhav. Obviously, you know, it's still the same operators, but it's nice to see a little bit of a flexibility on the attacking lineup. You know, one player isn't stuck playing support, so, you know, or one player isn't stuck playing second entry, so if your second entry isn't showing up, yay. Maybe you're able to pass it over to Rox, and he might be able to fill the job, or at the very least, you know, make himself feel better, pad his stats a little bit. But on the side of Jesuit Dallas, we are seeing a fairly similar lineup. Round 2 is a bit different, but round number 3 is a return to what we saw in that initial Cocktail defense. Likely we'll still see an extension. The castle's presence usually indicates such on a kitchen defense specifically, an extension horizontally as opposed to vertically. But Jesuit Dallas do generally seem not only to seem a bit more static, but overall a bit more static for strats as well, not just up lineup. Reedsync all the way alone up top will just manage to vault over. Could have been an easy kill for Arhab, but unfortunately for him, the timing doesn't go his way. Reedsync will send a couple shots back up his way, maybe just to taunt the Sledge for failing on the coverage. But that could have been extremely bad from the Jaeger, who seems to be the only roam presence right now for defense. But thankfully, because of some missed shots and some poor timing, he'll get away scot-free, and we're still at a 5v5 with almost half the round gone.
That was an unfortunate little missed opportunity from Arhav, but nothing negative happened. At least they were able to flush out the roamer in they were able to flush out the roamer in just about a minute, and all 5 players on the attack are still alive. And now they're safe. They know that the top 2 floors are completely vacant of any opposition, and they can go ahead and start using that Sledge. Curiously enough, they have a Nomad and they Claymore on Ace, but they are not running breaching charges on Zofia. That's a little bit interesting. Usually, especially on sites that require so much vertical presence, like Kitchen, you see more breaching charges.
And that's why it's necessary.
Yep, they'll definitely be missing that as King Bro blows the Sledge sky high, and you can say goodbye to virtually all of your soft destruction.
That is why you bring those breach charges if you have the opportunity, at least on 1 or 2 ops. Now that Rox has decided to bring the Claymore and the Sledge is gone, the soft destruction that is oh so necessary for a kitchen to execute, specifically a freezer drop, which, hey, based on the positions and freezer hatch being open, that is what looks like Sunny Hill are going for. They're not able to hold nearly the same angles. While they do still have some open, not nearly to the same effect. And what might often happen is you can just get eviscerated going down the hatch. They might be going for a rotate now that they vacated dining, maybe over to Brown Stairs. Either way, Reedsync will start things off in the final 20 seconds in the favor of Jesuit Dallas. You'll find a kill onto Jobu. He's already placed his air jabs, but at this point, any man lost for Sunny Hills is just another bullet in their body. They'll make the final push down red, just solely looking for 5 gunfights to take. They'll lose the first. They'll get the trade, but with only 2 seconds left, even if they get a couple more, which they will not, it's Reedsync and bots to clear up. It was an ill-fated measure the moment they lost their Sledge with 40 seconds left. And Jesuit Dallas, it's been back and forth so far in the first 3 rounds, but they take the lead once again, 2-1.
That was another issue of time management. Sunny Hills cleared out the roamer very quickly, and then didn't actually start sledging until about a minute 50 seconds. Maybe even 40 seconds left. You really got to be on that way early. The more vertical destruction and vertical presence you can get down onto the site, the better. And of course, you need to do that early if you want to get the full payout. Of course, the sledge going down very early was no help. And now, without that presence, you can't effectively flush out the anchors holding that freezer drop. I definitely like the play from the smoke of We Are Bots to know that, hey, if they try to come down white, which is really their only option right now, if they try and come down white freezer, I can isolate those freezer players by gassing out white. And because there's only 30 seconds left, I have 3 gas canisters. They're worth about 10 seconds each. I can fully deny that angle for the entire rest of the round. So what does that do? That forces Sunny Hills over to red, and flooding down red into carpet, especially with the crossfire from Coat Check, from Whiskey Double, and from Small Bake. Like you said, that's brutal. You're just not getting through that. So Jesuit, taking advantage of that poor time management from Sunny Hill.
It's unfortunate that problem rears its ugly head again, and now going back to Cocktail, this is the perfect opportunity for Sunny Hills to decide. Are we going to have the same issues as we had in rounds 1 and 3, or in round number 2, where we seemed at the very least to improve it, maybe not fix it entirely, but make better time, or use better time management in round number 2? Can we implement that here? It's the same site they've had before. They're facing it with a similar lineup, albeit you got the buck this time. I can't exactly remember if they had the buck. I think they had the sledge initially the first round. I might be wrong. Feel free to correct me, Harrison. But
I'm pretty sure it was still sledge.
well, beyond that, either way, 4/5 of the operators are guaranteed the same. So this is the perfect opportunity to test whether or not they can fix those time management issues and carry the successes of round number 2 into here. Sitting up on the red hatch right now. This is where they got stalled out mainly that first time. So if they drop before minute 30, we're already looking good. Jobu will go and use some of those air jabs already, setting up the flank. Red Stairs, an important position to watch, and we see Oatmeal and Reedsink sitting downstairs once again. Reedsink not playing all the way over in dining as he was last time, but Oatmeal has taken that same position inside of Train. What mainly happened here, Arhav got the first pick down below, but since the roamers were sticking together and so much time was wasted by the defense and neither were taken out, Reedsink was able to get the trade, but now Sunny Hills have made an entry, much quicker, or at the very least marginally quicker than last time, into top red. They've opened up the wall. Minute 40 left. It's not terrible, but still in a position where a couple of the roamers, if they're not cleared out and the time management is poor, could easily take them out.
The question for me here is why the buck?
Yeah, if you're not doing a cocktail take, it's like, why?
Yeah, if you're not going for cocktail and you're just moving through piano, the buck doesn't really offer you a lot. I mean, he's got burn, but so does your Nomad, so does your Twitch. And speaking of your Twitch, he's on the white repel, and he is going to get decapitated by Reedsink. Very good play by the Jaeger, taking out that white pressure, taking down, well, the person who got that opening kill last time Bar was defended. Shout out Yachty is going to be able to dispatch with the shield inside of Freezer, but there is a C4 to meet him, and that's that player down below that Arhav didn't clear out, and that's going to bite Sunny Hills in the back. They're, again, down 2 men. They've got less than a minute remaining. They don't have nades. They've got 1 ace charge left, and Jobu is very lit. Just about 1 bullet from death from almost any gun on the defense right now. And look at this. There's still Malusi Banshees to be cleared, and Reedsink is going to finish off Profit. Jobu has been finished off. And now it's just Rock in a 1 versus 4 with only 30 seconds left. Again, poor time management, poor utility play. I really got to question the buck pick. Again, just because, like, if you're not going cocktail, Sledge is just better on this site. But with only 20 seconds left and still 4 bodies to find, he's only got an average of 5 seconds for each of these kills. And he's just going to chill, probably just waiting, talking with his team. And never mind. He's going to, on ADS, quick peek King Bro and get his head taken off.
Now, if you're Sunny Hills, you're sitting right here. So far, the only round you've cleared out the roam twice, okay? One of them, you had no other choice. If you're attacking reading, not clearing out the roam is an absolute troll. So you got to do that, okay? Thankfully, Yachty is able to find 2, and you clear out the roam fairly quickly. Okay, that's all good. Round number 3, you clear out the roam once again. But so far, one of their biggest problems on Cocktail, not just their time management and all that, if the roam is not actively impeding them, Sunny Hills don't really seem to have any desire or really any wherewithal to clear it. For 2 rounds now, Reedsink and Oatmeal have been allowed to play freely down below and have not gained any ire. And already, you know, Sunny Hills have had time management issues. We've hit that point to death. But you lost one of your members to a C4 kill down below. Reedsink being able to rotate up, that's just another body, whether he wants to play down below and waste more time or aid the rest of his teams on site and add to a crossfire. The fact that Sunny Hills have struggled with that element of the attack, one of the first that you should do, is quite telling. But then on top of that, they're not able to clear out the utility on the site. They get stonewalled very easily by just gathering intel and sitting up top on the roof. This has been a rough attacking half for them, to say the least, and it's not inspiring a lot of confidence for these final 2 rounds. Now, maybe when we switch to the defense, they might have a better time. And hey, maybe they'll have a better time in these next 2 rounds. After all, we are going to reading. The one site Sunny Hills have won on this attacking half, and there's even a bit of an operator change. Instead of the Mute and the Mozzie, we've foregone the Mozzie. We're bringing a Goyo instead. Still kind of a similar offer lineup overall. But this is much more focused on clearing of bulletproof utilities, such as castle barricades and Goyo shields, something that Sunny Hills, at the very least, have shown capability to do. But I don't know. Overall, Sunny Hills, if the roam is not actively in their face, they just seem to struggle to clear it. And when you have that as well, the utility, the burn, it just all adds up to an insurmountable problem, it seems.
They're also still bringing the Twitch and have now dropped Sledge.
That one was odd. They also only have 1 breach charge.
Oh, they have 2.
Oh, they have 2 breach charges.
I think he was holding it.
Yeah, got it. You guys are so confused.
Yeah, so you have a Twitch against a Mute and a Goyo. Castle. And she's bringing Claymores, not smokes. I don't really understand that. And you've dropped your Sledge for Iana. Now, normally, I would be like, yeah, Iana.
Both got nades.
Woo! Iana's great, but it's not just about the nades on this site. It's about that vertical destruction. You gotta get those anchors out of reading. Otherwise, if you let them sit, like behind, over towards the laundry rotate, or in laundry itself, or behind the overturned cupboard, towards the booted wall, you're not gonna have a good time, especially with how many C4s are left on Jesuit's lineup. And look at this. It's already a minute 30 down, and this is exactly what Jesuit are looking for. They're using all this utility they swapped off onto the Goyo specifically for this time and utility wasting. One shield will go down, but there's a C4 to answer, and it will catch Arhav with a nade in his hand. Rock, though, will get a Claymore kill, but there's the nade that Arhav had in his hand. If you get killed with a nade in your hand, it does not give your teammate an indicator, and that'll result in the death of Rock as well. So sure, they lose the Jaeger, but you lose the Iana, an important piece of utility. You lose any control of those Twitch drones that you had first, and now it's a 4v3 with players still upstairs, and Zofia tries to melee the Melusi Banshee away. Weirbots will capitalize on that, leaving just Prophet and Jobu in a 2 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 4. He'll finally be finished off upstairs, but that leaves Jobu alone in a 1 versus 3.
Got the pistol out right now. Thankfully, he has time to reload. And this is a rough position, to say the least. Omi will send a C4 up. It's King Bro to finish him off with the UMP from down below. For Sunny Hills, overall, it seems much more likely that round 2 was more of a fluke in the overall grand scheme of things than it was truly Sunny Hills learning from their mistakes. That round, the time management also wasn't great. Spent a minute and a half before they actually began to put pressure on the extension itself. And even then, as you said, there were mistakes made in the op lineup that severely inhibited their play overall. They used 2 breaching charges to open up the hatches. So you're already going in. Even considering that, let's say you don't use your impact lifelines to clear out utility, which of course you would, and they ended up doing, but let's say you have those. All you have is a breach charge and 2 impact lifelines for self-destruction. What are you going to do on the site? That's almost a moot point because they didn't even make it there. They cleared out the utility, but it seemed that the intel on their side was lacking, or at the very least, the gunfights were more able to go the way of Jesuit Dallas, who have shown a tendency where if you give them a gunfight that's favored their way, they will absolutely take it. The drop nade from the Yana was just insult to injury at that point. It seemed like We Are Bots was pretty keen on holding up top, and with the support down below as well, Jesuit Dallas, in that round, but in the game overall, have continued to look like they are on the back foot, that they are the ones struggling. And going into round number 6, the final round on this half, the same lineup on Kitchen as well that Sunny Hill struggled with. I don't know, if I were them, I'd be hoping for a good and promising defensive half at this point.
King Bro and Reed Sync as well have only died in 1 round. You know what round that was?
5 seconds to go.
That was the 1 round they lost.
That was round objective is to defuse a bomb.
Every single other one, they have been alive to the end of it and have been important parts of said defense. So, we're back on the Kitchen. Again, we had a time management issue with Sunny Hill's attack. Luckily, they have swapped back onto the Sledge, which is certainly a welcome change, or a welcome return to form, I guess, from earlier in the match. But wow. Okay. Sad Oatmeal is going to swing reception from Coat Check and absolutely destroy Jobu. And by looking at where he was and how early it was in the round, I doubt if he got more than one air jab off.
I highly doubt. He got his air jabs quickly out round number 1, but since then it has been a little bit since he got him out. But even then, as you said, highly doubt if he got one, he got more than 2. So that's 2 key elements of flank watch, those air jabs. Obviously, they're not the end-all be-all, but they're still helpful where they are, and mobilizing defenders if they go for a flank. Losing those, you're going to feel it. As I said, if they were to know it's Nomad, they'd feel emboldened. But either way, man advantage going in favor of Jesuit Dallas so early on. It's not looking good for Sunny Hills. They'll go for a bakery execute this time, not doing the same top-down clear as they have before. So on the one hand, sure, maybe you don't have to deal with the roam, but once again, they appear to be stalling out. They'll open up bakery wall, so hey, maybe I spoke too soon. With that wall open, you've created a key angle, but what have you done on the site? The sledge hasn't done much work yet. In fact, no self-destruction has been done yet. Sunny Hills, what's the plan here? Because I'm not quite sure at the moment.
If I'm not mistaken, all 5 defenders are down on the site as well. So if Sledge were to rotate upstairs and start getting that vertical destruction down, he would be uncontested. But he's just focused on the bakery direct for now. I guess maybe, you know, the team prioritizing the nades over his vert play. Which, no, never mind. He is walking down red stairs, currently searching for Reed Sink as well as Sad Oatmeal. He'll be able to get the kill onto the castle, and Reed Sink, unfortunately, does not swing fast enough to get the trade, but what an angle from We Are Bots, playing the long game right there with the SMG-11. He'll take the head off a Shout Out Yachty to make sure that Jesuit remain in the man advantage, if only by 1. And again, look at the time. 35 seconds left. There are still Evil Eyes in sight. We still have the smoke with 3 canisters. There's still... Oh. He's still over towards Restaurant, getting a kill. This is all over, especially as the Thermite tries to just crouch walk in, not waiting for the smoke to go off. Evil Eye will just tase the Twitch a little bit just to add insult to injury, but Rock is still stuck in a 1 versus 4 with only 15 seconds left. And look at how Jesuit are holding. They're not getting over aggressive. They know they can just wait out the time. Unfortunately, King Bro maybe pulls the trigger a little bit too early, and he'll pay for his mistake, but still, in the grand scheme of things, it's just an impactless exit frag as Reed Sink finds his second. Jesuit take round number 6, as yet again, Sunny Hills, their time and utility seem to be their biggest enemies right now.
You know, we did talk a lot about Sunny Hills on that attack because of the mistakes they were making, and, you know, them being on the attack, the eye is often on them for them to make the plays. And if they're going wrong, that's what our eye is initially drawn to. But to give Jesuit Dallas some credit, they were playing incredibly well together as a team. The Reed Sink and Oatmeal duo on the roam, though, you know, varying in aggression. Sometimes they're all the way up top. Sometimes it's just a basic extension lurking around the site. But overall, not just those 2, but the 5 on Jesuit Dallas overall, King Bro, Oatmeal, We Are Bots, Reed Sink, and Shoes Raggedy, they've all shown that they will play close together and they will play for those trades. On top of that, they've shown a really good tendency to get the opening pick. Bro, Reed twice, and then Oat, 4 out of the 6 rounds, the past 4 actually, all the opening picks have gone to Jesuit Dallas. From that point, because they play so well together, they've been able to play the trades, so they work in their favor. But even then, it usually, when the round ends at a 1v4, it might not indicate the importance of trades, but it does indicate that everyone on Jesuit Dallas, to one degree or another, they're all doing their job. You're on attack now. Maybe you have a bit more of a burden to play, but team cohesion is one of the most important facets of the attack. And sure, the attack might be harder on Cafe, but the fact that Jesuit Dallas seem to have that down, or have that in spades, they, at the very least, should be feeling good going into their attacking half, even if they drop 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah, of course, we have been kind of harping on the mistakes of Sunny Hills before, but like Carter said, you know, those mistakes wouldn't be happening if Jesuit aren't playing their utility well, if they're not playing passive and together on the site, not getting too over-aggressive. And I think Prophet just destroyed his own electrical. With that
I think he might have.
Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. Better gun. He's bringing smokes to set up the Claymore. And, you know, with the Twitch, we didn't really see her do a lot with the drone. We didn't see her clearing, you know, ADSs, jammers, disabling banshees, and the like. She was just kind of there, maybe just playing for the gun. you're playing for the gun, I guess Jackal's better just because, you know, you can just flip the goggles and track someone, and there you go. You can pinch them out as a team or just be an annoyance. Either way, Jackal, it's a pretty solid operator, and he's definitely not one that's fun to deal with.
Oh, yeah. And given there is, you know, Mumazi on the board, don't want to beat that point to death as well, but like Leo Rome, as you can see, Arhav down below. He's actually the only one offside right now, but still, if you're that one guy, well, there's one set of footprints. He is certainly going to be happy if they pop up, and it will be that Malusi playing down below. The C4 as well, we've seen Jesuit Dallas make that same play onto Sunny Hills on their attack, so hopefully they are expecting it, at least somewhat. But we are seeing a similar issue on their attack. Minute 30 in, what progress has been made? They've made the entry into Cigar and on top of Red, and ReedSync has, at the very least, cleared out some ADSs and some utility overall, but not much beyond that. But the one difference is they have to go to the utility, and they look to be in a much better position overall. In fact, We Are Bots has just dropped the Skylight. He'll take the head off a Profit, but Jobu will play the trade. In fact, the C4 down below is what puts We Are Bots on the floor. Can be picked back up, but inside of the site, that's a tenuous position, to say the least. And right now, Jesuit Dallas, their brazen play doesn't look like it's working out. They haven't cleared out Bathroom. They'll try their best to take Jobu out of that position. But We Are Bots finished off. Jesuit Dallas now distinctly in the man disadvantage. And what did that rush get you? From the looks of it, nothing.
Yeah, that was certainly surprising. That surprised me. The fact that We Are Bots just hopped the Skylight and rushed in with ReedSync, and as Arhab takes the head off another, it's going to be a 2 versus 4 here for Shoes Raggedy and Sad Oatmeal, the 2 best names in this match so far, but both of them will fall to Arhab. What a round from the Malusi. He went from being the opening death 3 times in a row in the attack to getting a quad kill to clutch up the round for his team, and SHHS will take their first round in a while.
Certainly looked a bit good starting out, and they had some time management issues, not to the same extent as SHS, or nothing to get too worried about. But overall, it looked solid. It looked like they were still in a good position. But then that play from We Are Bots to drop the Skylight, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that was the move. I do not think that was the play. Now, hey, if you get a kill, you surprise him, you take him off guard, sure, good job. But because you're dropping the Skylight in that position and you don't exactly have the most ubiquitous map control, or it's not very abundant for you, you still haven't cleared out down below, everyone on Cocktail side is still firmly in their position. If you just drop the Skylight by yourself, unless the rest of the team is somehow rushing with you, you're just by yourself in the middle of 3 crossfires. Pick that number arbitrarily, but you get the point. You're in the line of sight of all the defenders. That kind of... If they had gained any momentum, it was quickly wiped away by that play from We Are Bots. I talked about how their strength is playing together, but I hope they keep that in mind and we don't see individual or attempted individual plays like that, because when they work, they're super cool and flashy and they can win rounds. But if they don't work, you die alone, you put your team in the man disadvantage, and you throw their momentum all out of whack.
Jesuit will opt to bring the Iana, a much less solo operator than Jackal too. I think Kingbro was the one on the Jackal he's not on, so he and ReedSync kind of switching up the roles a little bit. I definitely agree with the extra utility, especially how these teams have been playing, There's Smoke Shield, Jaeger, Malusi, all that stuff you gotta deal with. Jesuit, not going for the Bakery direct like their counterparts on the map. They'll be going for the full top-down clear. And when there's a mute on the board, it's very safe to assume that, hey, we gotta drone out this whole thing just in case there's a roamer being aided by that drone denial. From the looks of the silhouettes from what I've seen so far, I don't believe there are any roamers on the top 2 floor, and as soon as Jesuit realized that, I should have We Are Bots move in and start to play with that vert play. Something we saw from Sunny Hills only come towards the latter half, maybe even the last minute of the round, so I already see the sledge inside of pillars. I'm going to assume Jesuit are going to start this vert play a hell of a lot sooner than Sunny Hills did.
Certainly looking like that. Again, no roam presence means that's much quicker, but there are still defenders in positions to go for those flanks. You saw Rocks at the bottom of Red Stairs. You see Arhav in a position at bottom Brown. There is a Nomad on the board, so if those air jabs aren't down in key positions in time, they could go for flank, but now that Shoes Raggedy is gone, running from Red and running towards Brown, and the 2 being gone indicates probably put both of them down in those positions, so flank's not nearly as possible, but one of the defenders has found themselves in a tough position. Yachty rotating into Bakery, found himself in the line of sight of Bots, but now that he's rotated off, Bots will try to clear him out with a frag grenade. He'll waste one. Reedsync pushing down Brown entirely. We'll find Arhav, the opening pick on the Malusi, taken down. Bro as well. He's made his way. Map control quickly taken, a bit unexpected. The aggression not entirely foreseen by Sunny Hills. Bots as well up above, takes down Jobu. That's the smoke. Those 3 smoke canisters to delay, they're gone now. And Jesuit Dallas looking to get on match point. They've taken demand advantage, 5-3.
However, those are 2 very important picks. Your only positive member of the defense right now, Arhav, the man who got the quad kill last round, to really push his team through, got taken out first in the smoke. That is a huge utility pick. And now with shout out Yachty dead, that is a C4 off the board. In fact, the only C4 you have left. Rock had the advantage. He had the elements of surprise, but a couple key missed shots allows King Bro to swing around and get the pick anyway. That leaves Prophet in a 1v5 ace clutch situation. And the attackers, though low on time, they have enough manpower to compensate for it. He doesn't have any C4, which means no free pick for him, but it doesn't matter as King Bro just pushes right through the middle of the site and shoots him through the double door. And it looks like Jesuit are back to their dominant ways with the first flawless round of the map.
Certainly moving on to match point. That's a way to try to show us, hey, that one round, that was a fluke, okay? Don't worry about that.
No,
still
she's
got
casting
this in the
invite
bag.
right now.
Oh, you're right, my bad. Well, not right now. She's casting it tomorrow.
Sorry. Yeah.
I guess if you are European.
Yeah.
If you are European today.
It is later today for them.
Fluke great
She
casting.
is,
by the way.
she's British.
We don't hold it against her. We try not to hold it against her.
British.
I know. But anyway.
I'm sorry.
Jesuit Dallas, they're on match point. It's only map number 1, so don't worry.
They are.
It's not like this series is over after this. I know. Look at that. 6-2 right now. It is 6-2. 8 rounds total. Round number 9. It's looking like Sunny Hills will try to make the what could be the beginnings of their final stand in this map. All the way down, back inside the kitchen. Try the bomb site a second time. This time with a seemingly much more dedicated extension. They'll have the Mozzie, but we'll see an operator we haven't seen yet. They're bringing the Bandit in tandem with the Cade. This might seem a bit odd, both being hard breach denial. What we'll likely see is Prophet will use his Electroclaw charges for hatches. Try to keep them vertical. Well, actually, he didn't do that, so never mind. It's my whole point. It's my whole point done away with. I'll just...
So what are they gonna? They're gonna Bandit Red Wall and Freezer?
That's what I assume.
Because my
5 seconds left.
my immediate thought is, you Electroclaw Bake, and you Electroclaw
Attackers are
Freezer
heading out
Hatch.
to defuse
Yes.
the bomb.
Bandit the other 4.
Mhm.
They
That's
do
what I
have
was
the
thinking.
Bandits on the Freezer, but
Where are the other 2?
are they gonna try and trick the Freezer wall? All right. So here's the main issue with trying to Bandit trick on this site. The attackers are almost always going to take above. And once the attackers take above, if their sledge is alive, there is no chance you're going to be able to get away with it.
90% of the site is destructible.
Yeah,
the ceiling,
unless the attackers are just like oblivious
or don't care.
or don't care that you're bandit tricking, you're just not going to get away with it. So,
Well, let's put them down now.
I mean, maybe they're relying on Jobu to waste enough time on his solo roam. Not solo. He's duoed right now with Arhab. So maybe they're planning on having these 2 players waste enough time or to be able to trade out the sledge beforehand. But that was a little bit curious. I don't think Reedsync waited for the drone there, and thus he will be the first casualty. And you just lost a set of nades. Oh,
Even though you're on...
that's a defending drone. They don't know.
They're
See that?
I actually did not see that. I was ready.
It was following the Zoth through Cigar.
Oh. Interesting. Well, either way, it'll be useful intel for Jobu and Arhav, who, since Reedsync's demise, they were not picked off on the rotate. That is, even though you're on match point, you're up 6-2. Sunny Hills need 4 rounds to bring it back. You cannot be making mistakes like that. You cannot be getting sloppy in your play. You have to drown at every position, and that's not even an uncommon spot to be sitting inside a pixel. Sure, maybe you didn't expect him to be tucked all the way in the corner, but still, you have to be thorough, even when you're in the winning position. They do know at the very least, or at the very least, they seem to know that Jobu and Arhav are down there. The Tracers likely signaled that. King Bro will take a hell of a lot of damage. Arhav takes a little bit less, and Sophia being one-shot should make this a little bit easier. Oatmeal will move on in. And now that Choose Raggedy has landed the pinch, that's easy pickings for the attacking team. But look at the time. You've taken down the Roam, but they single-handedly wasted 2 minutes. And now you have to clear out those Electroclaws, those Bandit batteries if you want to open the wall. And with the smoke canisters as well, in 15 seconds, you'll have just enough time to delay you completely until the clock hits 000. So with Jesuit Dallas, they're forced into a borderline unwinnable position to push the site in the final 30 seconds.
They're going to have to rely on their gunfights and the fact that they have a man up to win their trade game. A couple missed shots from We Are Bots means that Prophet is not going to die. That was what I could have sworn he took enough shots for it, but I guess the bar just ate up too many. C4 goes out and it won't land, and there's the finisher from We Are Bots. So now it's a 4 versus 2, but with only 15 seconds left. Again, Jesuit are going to have to be on top of their trade. Sad Oatmeal trying to walk in, will whip some shots. Rock is fighting back through the Alamo right now, and here comes shout out Yachty. He'll get the trade, but it's a 1v1, and the shotgun finishes King Bro off. Sunny Hills take round number 9 thanks to a brilliant crossfire on the Whiskey double door, and the clock running too low for Jesuit to make a competent execute.
Still impressive from Jesuit to bring it that close at the very end. We were talking about how they had the man advantage, but it was a 4v2 going into that, and they looked in prime position to wipe out the final 2. But as you said, the powerful positioning from Yachty. I think that was a collat with 2 people vaulting over, vaulting over the counter. So unlucky there for at least Jesuit. But still, the powerful position, cleaning up those 2 with 1 mag of the SMG-11. And bro, at that point, sure, he got smoked by the shotgun. He could have been full health and died anyway. But being 1 HP, there was no chance he was getting that unless he hit the shot of a lifetime. At an angle like that against the shotgun, you're not landing it. Still a good showing from Jesuit Dallas to try to make do with what they had. But a lot of that comes down to the poor droning up top. Losing down your Yana, or Reed Sync as well. Not just your Yana, but tied for top frag, though, with 2 other members of the team. Both King Bro and We Are Bots and Reed Sync all have 9 kills, respectively. But still, losing down your Yana, a set of nades, and 1 of your entry ops, just because you didn't check a corner fully, you can't be doing that. And it seems like if they hadn't gotten that, the match might, or if they had gotten that, it could be 7-2 right now, based on the way that seemed to be going. Emphasize it again, you cannot be making mistakes like that. Not at this level, not at this score line, even though you're up in the round count. Going back to Cocktail, we'll see this site once again in the matchup overall, and thankfully for Jesuit Dallas, they might not have to clear out as many roamers as they had to previously. If they fix their droning, and they're able to recapture the success of that flawless round, it's still a very winnable game for them.
Yeah, speaking of Cocktail, to your point, you know, we can't have these players getting too cocky. Once you get a little bit ahead of yourself.
I don't get the connection.
No, it's just they just start with the same 4 letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the connection. Once you start getting ahead of yourselves and start mentally checking on, being like, oh, we already won this map, before you actually have, sometimes that's where you start making those key mistakes, and that's how the defense, or the losing team, starts catching up to you. So hopefully Jesuit, they dial it back. They make sure not to get a little arrogant, and still play their fundamentals and still go through the motions that are necessary to win these attacks. Of course, like you said, back to Bar, a site that they had previously lost, thanks to some stall out inside of Cigar, and a bit of an odd skylight rush, which I don't suppose is going to happen again.
Please don't do that again. I'm on my knees right now. Please don't do that again. I'm on my knees.
Give me the loot. Nobody in chat is gonna understand.
No, nobody will get that. But anyway.
You know,
anyway.
Forest.ape. That's where the reference comes from.
Le Roman Mickey Brow. That was his Twitter handle. Anyway, moving back to the game. Sorry, we got distracted. Well, I was actually going to say the importance of Rox holding that pixel behind the shield. But he just got his body riddled with bullets, and now he's on the floor. You still have that utility you could clear if you want. It might make it a bit cumbersome to move, but Rock's giving his life away, at the very least getting caught out on the rotate. That's powerful position. Just like the one Yachty was playing last round, except upstairs, taken away. Now, if they clear out Jobu as well, they are clear to push up right Whitehall. He'll be spotted on the drone, but still holding this angle with the shotgun and brazenly moving down White. Clearly, Jesuit Dallas did not account for the crossfire. Arhaf playing all the way back on those white stairs, but the trades so powerful and so skillful at Jesuit Dallas in this way. They're going their way, but the player on white stairs is still too powerful for them. One to the head, or the head of King Bros taken down, but moving on to the site. Reed Sync will find 2 on the vault in. And Arhav, that man who's got the first 2, he's got to get the final 3 if he wants to save Sunny Hill's map 1 chances. He'll get one with the C4. Sadomil, excellent utility play, but the air jab goes off. The sound cue is known to Jesuit Dallas, and Reed Sync looking that way. This is going to be a difficult gunfight for the Malusi to win. Bomb going down. Shoes Raggedy getting the plant. Arhav will bide his time. Bit risky in this position, but smart to try to catch them off on the rotate to their post-plant positions. He'll start to move into Cigar. Nobody found just yet. He knows he has to start, or at the very least be cognizant of the time, because if he doesn't start making his play, he's only got 21 seconds or so left until it's over. Oh, and it's over before we even reach that position. Reed Sync takes the head off of Arhav, and Cafe ends 7-3. What looked like maybe could have been Yachty saving their chances on map number 1 was truly just, well, it was the bells tolling, and we just didn't even know it. Jesuit Dallas, they win the map 7-3. They're up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and that was really completely down to just Reed Sync. It doesn't matter what kind of advantage you have in the round if another player on the opposing team just says no. And that's what Reed Sync did. He saw that they were in a man disadvantage because of the white player, and he said, what if?
Hear me out.
I walk in.
Said, hey.
And he did. And he killed.
Make a play.
And he killed. Well, he killed the guy on Pixel first, and then he killed 2 more people just walking in the bathroom. And then the round was over. That was the opener they needed. Arhav, unfortunately, after his position was known on white, he had to hit the reload. He had to fall back. He wanted to play for the C4 from below, but that left his teammates without any. Well, he thought his teammates were going to be able to get the necessary trades, but they weren't, and thus. Jesuit Rangers, they're going to get the first map.
Yeah, and of course, going forward on a map 2 of Oregon, on a map where Sunny Hills, on Cafe, where Sunny Hills seemed to structure with that structured style of play, at the very least on the attacking side first and foremost, going to Oregon, you're not going to have the same sort of luck. It is a bit less complicated. You don't have to worry about vertical as much on certain sites, but still a structured map, still a map where you got to play together, and that's where Sunny Hills seemed to struggle on their attacking half. But of course, not done yet. Of course, we're here at High School Esports League, they have sponsors, because of course you do. How else are you going to pay the bills? And one of our sponsors for tonight is Intel Winners Circle. So make sure you stay tuned for the Intel Winners Circle, an invitational tournament beginning June 14th to the 25th, where some of the best esports teams nationwide will compete for over $50,000 in prizes. I can't even count that high. So the fact that that's a prize pool, pretty impressive to say the least. It's also including a guaranteed $1,000 in scholarships to every participating school esports team. If you're like me and you thought you could just get by on scholarships by, your devilishly good looks and incredible wit, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Might not get you through everything. So money, as Harrison said earlier, money always helps. Hey, listen, man, I'm just trying, okay? I'm just a small 5'6" caster trying to make his way through the world. Just let me have this one thing, okay?
5'6".
The matches for the top teams for Overwatch, Valorant, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will be streamed live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Generation Esports. But of course, as I said earlier, we have map 2 of Oregon up soon. The series is not over yet. I'm Lynx, joined by Harrison. And if you like us and you like these teams, we'll be back in just a little bit after this break. All right, everybody, welcome back. If you missed it, you're just now tuning in. Well, on the side of Jesuit Dallas versus Sunny Hills Esports, on the side of Jesuit Dallas, I should say, it was a 7-3 victory for them on Cafe. And now moving into map 2 of Oregon, Harrison and I are a little bit worried about the prospects of Sunny Hills, given some of the things you mentioned earlier. Harrison, what are some of those factors going into map 2 of Oregon that you and I were worried about Sunny Hills?
Time is really important on Oregon.
It gets us all in the end.
And how utility factored in to their issues with time. And Oregon happens to be a map that is far more focused on, well, just about as focused on utility as Cafe, which is very. So
Very.
hopefully Sunny Highs know what went wrong on Cafe and are planning to amend it heading into Oregon, because Oregon is a lot more structured. Those little mistakes in utility and stuff like that are going to cost you more on a map like Oregon than it would Cafe.
Yeah, that is the issue. Whether or not Sunny Hills can adjust to that style of play, or I don't even know, because if they are more that frag heavy team, they're holding out for Content and Coastline. Well, you got to play the structured game if you even want to hope to get to map 4 and 5. So who knows? We'll find out. But before we get into it, I mentioned earlier, before we went to the break, read one of our sponsors. We have more than one. We had a wide array of people here at High School Esports. We do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 approximately.
I couldn't count to 50,000 earlier. Hate to break it to you. 7 is also a little bit out of my reach. But what I do know is that I'm a big fan of chicken. I love chicken. Oddly enough, despite people being like, beef, steak, all that. Well, that beef and steak are the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. I actually really like chicken. I think it's good at a lot of things. And that's why I'm actually really excited to do this ad read. Now that I'm not excited for the others, but I really do like Zaxby's, in all honesty. Zaxby's, of course, a proud sponsor of High School Esports League, just like everyone else. But don't hit pause. If you're like me, who's actually really hungry now that I'm thinking about it, order Zaxby's famous chicken sandwiches and salads for pickup and delivery on the Zaxby's app or at Zaxby's.com. If you're like me, I'm a big chicken sandwich guy. I've never been a big fingers, nuggets, or tenders kind of person. I don't know why. I really like. What are you laughing at? What's funny?
You said you listed beef and you listed beef and steak as if they were different things.
I don't listen, man. Okay,
I
was thinking about it.
You're also hungry. And that's funny to me.
I could go for both. I was thinking, beef, steak. Those are two of the big, like. Oh no, actually, yeah. I was about to say, pulled pork was beef. I'm having a rough go at it tonight. But anyways, thank you for Zaxby's for sponsoring, of course, High School Esports League. And just for the record, to try and quickly pivot off my absolute fumble there in terms of food, let's take a look at the map set real quick. Again, remember all the maps that we have going on. If we want, we can go over it.
Refresher.
Yeah, we saw Cafe. What's the plan here, Harrison?
If you have the memory of a goldfish, or you didn't see the maps beforehand, map number 2 is going to be Oregon. That's also why I just talked about it, if you couldn't read context clues. Oregon, very utility focused, very linear. There's not a lot of room for innovation regarding Oregon. It's kind of like Clubhouse in that sense. Those are the two most rigid maps in the pool, I would say. Maybe Console. Console's a little more flexible just because it's more frag heavy. But Oregon, I don't want to be mean to Oregon. It's a very hard map to make fun. But I'm holding out hope. I'm gonna go in cautiously optimistic with the hope that these teams are gonna give us a good show on Oregon. Either that or every round is going to be a 2-minute 45 stall out, and I'm going to hate myself. But again, Cafe was honestly not bad. There were definitely things to pick apart in both the teams' play. So hopefully Oregon isn't 100% standard.
I'm also I'm getting word right now that the side of Sunny Hills is subbing out 2 players. Saw Prophet last time. You didn't see much of him. He wasn't one of the more flashy players, or at least involved in many gunfights on the side of Sunny Hills. He's being subbed out for a player named Atomos, spelled Atomos. I'm assuming that's Atomos. If I pronounce it incorrectly, my bad. Feel free to correct me.
He's a brother of At the Least.
I didn't get that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
His name sounds like At the Most.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was making it.
That wasn't even a bit that I didn't get it. I actually just that one went over my head. That's my bad. I got it.
It was
I appreciate it now. But anyway, the second player as well, Parkin is in. Rox is out. Rox has been more surprising because he was a bit more of a standout player
I mean,
on the side
hey,
of
at least
Sunny
they're not
Hills.
subbing out Arhav.
That is true. Arhav was
Arhav
that
went, like,
he was that big guy. He
what
went
did
nukey nuke to quote Donnie.
11 and 8, 12 and 8, something like that. He dropped double digits. That's all
He
I
did
know. He
drop
was
double
the
digits.
only double digits player on that squad. So I guess Adamos and Parkin will join us. Oh, we got a screenshot. He did
Let's
go
go.
11 and 8. I was right. God, I am so good. And it is We Are Bots who is 10 and 6. Yeah, we were talking about. We couldn't remember if it was We Are Bots or King Bro, who had the double digits. But it was We Are Bots because King Bro had a heater like really early in the game, but he slowed down a little bit. But yeah, I'm interested to see what Adamos and Parkin can do. They'll certainly be, I imagine, similar roles.
I would assume, though. Then again, they also did show a tendency to switch roles. So honestly, who knows?
I wonder, do you think it's performance related? Because I mean, Prophet went 1 and 9, and Rock went 4 and 9. Or do you think it's just like do you think it's
I
like
don't know
the?
why. I thought
think it's
Rock
like
did better
the-
than that.
Yeah. Or do you think it's like the early year 2 Penta where like they would have like Falco and KS like for certain maps and like would switch them between the two? Is that what's going on here?
I'll be honest, Harrison. That was before my time. I know who both those players are, but I did not even know there was a phenomenon until T-minus 10 seconds ago. Till you just said it. Listen, you're the guy with the Google Doc. You've got the long history textbook that is Siege history. Okay, I don't have that. I'm a
That's
working
why
man,
they
Harrison.
Pay me the big bucks.
We get paid the same amount. They don't pay you more. But I was a working man. I had my own responsibilities. I was working a 9 to 5 at the age of 14. It was rough out here. I wasn't. I was too short to work a job. I was too short. I'm still just barely tall enough to ride the rides at Kings Island. I was not working a job back then. It's not funny. My height is not funny, Harrison. It is not funny.
Isn't Annalise taller than you?
Why do we need to talk about the fact that my girlfriend is taller than me on stream, okay? They do not need to know this fact. Yes, my girlfriend is only by 1 inch. 1 inch she is taller.
Oh, so I'm still taller than her.
Yes, you are still taller than her. So
I am exactly average height, and it's poggers.
For context, by the way, we are just waiting on some words, some words,
Yeah,
of course. But
we're doing what they call in the casting scene stalling.
Because we're still waiting on information. Still waiting on information from the teams about subbing in. Whether or not they're actually in yet. We're just
for them to be
just
ready
chilling,
and stuff.
just waiting. We are getting word. One player was having issues with the lobby, unfortunately. Server connectivity, always that ever-present issue. In fact, if you do watch actual, like T1, T2 Siege, Challenger League recently had to have a couple matches rescheduled because of server connectivity issues. So Crow and I, first and foremost, know the issues and the problems we can have. So we'll be throwing it to a quick break. But again, map 2 of Oregon between Jesuit Dallas and Sunny Hills will be just in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody. I told you we would be back eventually. Did take a bit, again, solving those issues, people connected to lobbies, but again, we're here. Let's go. I hate us. I hate us so much, dude. We are awful. But again, we're just about to get into it. Again, if you are just now tuning in, I just like to do that procedurally, just in case we have new viewers. Cafe, map 1, 7-3, the favor of Jesuit Dallas. Now we're on map 2 of Oregon to see whether or not Sunny Hills can fix their mistakes, take the extended break, and bring it back. Or if this is just another frontier where Jesuit Dallas will increase their map count. Only time will tell.
Also, as far as I'm aware, Cafe was Sunny Hills map pick. Nice. Definitely makes sense, considering Jesuit started on the defense. And now we are on Jesuit's map pick. And Sunny Hills are going to ban
the Thatcher.
We already went into that earlier into the stream, and I don't want to do it again.
TLDR, nope. Thatcher, disable electronics. No Thatcher, comfortable.
You also, you have strats with Thatcher and without Thatcher. So you just ban Thatcher. Ace is next, though. Ace is a little bit different. Typically, if you're gonna ban a hard breacher on this map, and it's not Maverick, it's gonna be either Ace or Hibana. Either way, it's kind of just comfort. They both have their ups and downs. Valkyrie, a common ban. Again, literally everywhere. Intel is very important, and without an IQ, sometimes those cams can be hard to find, and they can be a pain to deal with, especially if you don't actually know that you're getting spotted. Final attack, the final defending ban, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it is a Mira.
There you go. Very standard ban phase overall. Call of map 1, if you were there. Ashe was banned, which we were kind of like, oh, that's cool. Honestly, kind of forgot she was banned at a certain point. Not because, she wasn't played and it was ever present in my mind. It's just,
It was just like, I don't think it really did much.
Yeah,
unless it was counter specifically to a player, like people just brought Iana. There you go. Iana literally has the same amount of destructive power as Ashe, except you can kill people with it.
And at least here, Ashe unbanned. We Are Bots will seem to pick her up in the very first round. We Are Bots on Cafe. He's playing a lot of that sledge roll. Now, some, of course, rolls were kind of tossed back and forth, but We Are Bots at the very least started and ended their attacking half on the sledge. Now here on Oregon, soft destruction, while, never a bad thing to have, not nearly as necessary or as powerful as it is on Cafe. So we're going to want to focus more on, one, your hard breaching, which, of course, they'll bring the Maverick and Hibana in tandem. Of course, you'll still have some destruction on the side of Jesuit Dallas. Both the Ashe and Zofia of Reed Sync won't control those with the Ashe charges and impact lifelines. And then Shoes Raggedy, poor, blessed Shoes Raggedy, still stuck on flank watch. Just sitting with those air jabs on the Nomad. I say poor, though he did do it well, so that isn't to,
It's because,
say he's bad. Just,
It's because shoes are raggedy, so they don't want him walking around too much.
Hear me out. Wouldn't your shoes be more raggedy if you were on an entry, moving around the map more often?
That's what I mean. His shoes are already raggedy.
Oh!
They're trying to prevent further raggedification.
They're actually looking out for
shoes.
him by putting him on the flank watch.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're doing it. Like, as I said, they're preventing further raggedification to the shoes.
Hey, you actually know? You want to know why Shoes Raggedy's playing? He's playing to get the better shoes.
Oh, true, dude. That scholarship money is going to help him get better shoes.
If he wins this, it's not going to be Shoes Raggedy. It's going to be Shoes.
Pristine.
Pristine. Yeah. Pristine. Pristine. That's the one we'll do.
Shoes Pristine. Let's go. Anyway.
Well.
Also, something we haven't touched on. If Sunny Hills roster looks different, we touched on.
Oh yeah, we did forget about that.
Parkin and Atomos are now in, and Rock and who is it? Rock and Prophet have been subbed out. So a little bit of a mid-game roster change. Well, not roster change. Swap, I guess, in and out of the lobby. Jesuit has fully droned out tower, and thus the Maverick is gonna do the thing. Typically what you see is the Maverick, the Nomad, and either the Ashe or the Zofia clear by the tower side. They get this wall open, they set up the flank watch, and they clear the utility in pit. It's gonna be the Zofia over there because, of course, she can clear with those stuns. Meanwhile, the Hibana and the Ashe go over towards the game side of things and try to open up the games wall, taking away the utility there, opening it up, and all that good stuff. And we are bots already on the Ashe, going to be getting the first pick of this map onto Arhav, the top performer from Cafe, and is also now a C4 off the board.
Arhav always seems to find himself in those opening engagements, and while engagements number 2 and 3 don't seem to be going the way of Sunny Hills either. The lost on the roam game, albeit with a minute 30 left, but quickly Jesuit Dallas made their entry into sight. Unfortunately for Reed Sink, he gets caught off guard by Adamo swinging, but there you go. Those ever-important trades coming out, but, well, for Sunny Hills, a flank has appeared. Jobu moving up back tower stairs. He'll make his way through attic, and it doesn't appear at the very least they're fully cognizant. They have players looking that direction just as a precautionary measure, and one will find the head of Jobu. So, at the very least, Jesuit Dallas don't have to worry about the flank because, well, there's only one left, and at the moment bots killed them, they knew that they got round number 1 in the bag.
Yes, very well played there for Jesuit, getting that first pick on the Malusi. That was a good intel game from them. Either that, or he just checked that spot at the right time and happened to catch Arhav off guard. Then the pit push came through towards Attic. You saw how confidently those players moved in. It was Sad Oatmeal, Shoes Raggedy, and Reedsink, I believe, all trying to take that pit control, and not a single player on Sunny Hills was able to fight back at all up until the final seconds of the round, where Adamos got one frag. Well, he was able to down Reedsink, went for the Reed swing to try and collect the kill, but Sad Oatmeal was there for the cover. So good trade potential from Jesuit, and that was a pretty damn dominant round number 1. Sunny Hills, obviously not satisfied with their performance on that site. They will try again, trying to amend whatever issues they had, which were honestly just kind of just not shooting back.
Yeah. That was the issue there. Jesuit Dallas, yes, you said they made that confident entry into Attic to take control of Pit, but a lot of that seemed to come down to gunfights, not necessarily, getting, a frag grenade, getting sent on in, blowing one up, or either moving one out of position. It just seemed they made that entry and they won their gunfight. So, hey, if Sunny Hills, they start shooting back, as you said, that style of play is countered on top of that. Arhav might be a bit more reluctant to roam around, or at the very least roam so far away from his team, because he was just kind of pinched, or at the very least pushed by We Are Bots and the rest of the attacking team, whether through drones or in person. And he just kind of died, didn't shoot back either, and then you have now lost the opening duel. You're in a man disadvantage, and you're in no position to get traded. So maybe if you're looking to roam, either sit down below, maybe inside a kitchen, or, as we see Arhav right now, play inside a big tower. You'll sit there for the moment, and, well, it's still a bit of a risky position. You could find yourself naded out or pinched as well, but it's still close to your team. And no, never mind, he's going all the way down to the basement. Again, could have impact here, but he's far away from his team. And if they drone him out and he overstays his welcome, he could find himself meeting a very similar fate to how he met in round 1.
Oh, he's back up. There we go.
Let's go,
Maybe
Arhav.
he was, I think maybe it was just a preliminary drone hunt, taking out any extra intel. But there is Jobu still downstairs, so while the Malusi ascends the white stairs, he'll go down and he'll play inside of dining. Yet again, we are going to have a very similar clear. Sad Oatmeal opening up this wall. He's joined here by Reedsink, but I think this time they figure, hey, we don't necessarily need Shoes Raggedy. We took it pretty easily this time. We'll have him help out with the trophy push rather than Attic. Which is definitely interesting considering he did get one of the opening picks onto those pick players in the previous round. They were able to drone out Jobu trying for that tower flank, so they know that Jaeger is off-site, and yet again, Parkin is going to be playing here with that TCSG. Drone will come out, C4 in response, but it will fall upon deaf ears. We'll be able to claim the drone, but not the life of the Zofia, just kind of wasting that utility a little bit, as Jesuit are able to flush him out, not find the kill, but at least take the position.
Gonna say contesting that angle with the TCSG. Sure, it might pack a bit more of a punch than an AUG, but it's tricky, especially coming against 2 attackers. He'll rotate off, but it's Yachty to bear the brunt of the first death on the side of his team. A C4 gone. He'll be relegated to cam duty. Jobu on the flank as well will fall to the gun of Shoes Raggedy. Now it's a 3v5 in the site, but still a winnable position on Dorms. Arhav will make quick work of We Are Bots, but there's still 4 attacking members ready to careen upon the site, and careen they have. The waves have landed on shore, and Oatmeal getting the plant down appears to remain undaunted. Arhav will swing and actually find him. Sure, the plant is dropped, but now you've lost 2 more people on the trade. Whether or not they were baiting Oatmeal or not, it resulted in 2 kills, a swing in the favor of the attacking team, and Arhav is found in a familiar clutch position. A 1v3, trapped on white stairs, he's easy picking for Reedsink, who top frag in the last game. And that kind of play is looking to make the same scoreline this time around. 2 attacks on Dorms, 2 successful round wins so far for Jesuit Dallas.
This time, Sunny Hills didn't really fight back as aggressively, so they didn't give up those early picks to Jesuit, meaning they could fall back on their anchor play. But That's where the real difference came in. Instead of giving up those early picks, they didn't contest Jesuit, and that allows Jesuit that free control, and you saw them slowly constricting the site. They have the games wall open, they have the trophy door, they have pit control. They pushed in, and there was not a lot Sunny Hills could do to stop them, especially, you know, that big flank that was supposed to be a game changer getting shut down by Shoes Raggedy. Good trade potential, especially on the planter, you know. Planting in a spot like that with no C4 left and the smoke missing, that forced the swing. Sure, like you said, the defenders were able to deny it, but it came at the cost of 2 players. They were already in 3v4. Now leaves them in 1v3, and, you know, with him being trapped on white stairs, that is pretty much undoable. Smart choice from Sunny Hills, not going to the same site twice in a row. After losing it twice in a row, they will go into laundry instead.
The site that they might find a little bit easier. We'll see a traditional hold right now. Obviously, given the op lineup, you figured they're not going to be extending too far off the site. Maybe we'll see Jobu make a play somewhere individually as well, like he did last time. But given the op lineup, sticking close to the chest, all playing together on the site, probably your best bet, especially since you've struggled to have those offsite players in the first 2 rounds make an impact, whether it be them getting picked off early on or them getting picked off and caught out on the flank at the end of the round. Just sitting, playing close together, that's likely the name of the game, and Sunny Hills' path to success. For Jesuit Dallas, it likely won't stop their clear all that much. In fact, they'll happily take that map control seated by their team, but there you go, actually. Jobu sitting up top, alone inside of kitchen. Arhav downstairs could be in a position, you know, provide a little bit of welcoming arms for Jobu if he chooses to rotate back. This is just the tricky situation. 3 times now they tried to go for this roam, and Jaeger recoil will not do Jobu any favors. Reedzing picks him off by himself with a drone of all things. They'll single-handedly decimate the roaming presence of Sunny Hills, and we already seem to be in a familiar position in round number 3.
Well, another good roam clear. That was I mean, all he took was damage.
I'd take that. I'd make that deal.
You know what Reedsink said after getting that opening?
Nice.
No,
Let's
he
go.
said, "Die, Jobu."
I don't think it's right.
Oh, because he killed Jobu, right? He was like, "Die, Jobu," but "Die, Jobu" is also Japanese for okay. Or
Oh,
okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Die, Jobu.
Well, there you go.
There you go. A play on words, ladies and gentlemen. I hope
You're
all...
really, dude. I'm like 0 for 3 with your play on words jokes tonight. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You know,
I did not
other
come
languages are tough. You're not as avid of an anime watcher. So.
No.
It's
I
for you.
learned
You're not Devin Craterhoot, who literally speaks Japanese even though he is Polish. But taking out Jobu really early, and now they have transitioned to a freezer laundry push. The less common of the 2 standard ways of taking this downstairs site. They've already got freezer, well, bottom freezer stairs control, but now they have to move into the rest of the room as Weirabots is going to get traded out, and that leaves just Jesuit. I almost called them Jesuit. That leaves Jesuit in an HP disadvantage. As you can see, Reedsink, despite being the main entry player, is very low on HP. He's just about 1 shot from any of these defending weapons. King Bro also down to about half, although he's able to get his utility off to make sure they clear that bomb chassis angle. That's a nice little spot that a lot of defenders like to tuck in. They deny any laundry push. So there's no one actually playing there, but look at the utility that's still on the side of the defense. Arhav, Parkin, and Shoutout Yachty all still have C4s, and Adamo still has all 3 gas canisters. Though he will tempt fate, he'll get very lit up. You do not want to be losing that smoke's life early, not with the time left. Arhav will get one on a King Bro. Here comes a nade in. That forces the mute out. Great push there from Shoes Raggedy, but the anchors are falling on the site. Jesuit are actually able to take this round back, but it's still a 2 versus 1. Parkin only needs to land 1 shot onto Reedsink to put him down, but Shoes Raggedy is going to start getting the plant. Parkin will have to push in, but there's the vault. Ill time from Reedsink, but Parkin not using that C4, not pushing in. He's got no intel, and he'll forfeit that diffuser. It's now a 1v1 ARX versus TCSG.
This is the tricky thing here. Not much soft destruction to go the way of Shoes Raggedy, but even then, Parkin does not have the intel to the position of the Nomad. In fact, doesn't likely know that the player's sitting up top. The angle isn't the best for the Nomad, and Parkin at the very least will try to bait it out. The flash coming in likely knows the Nomad's position. Look at the time. There's not much left. Only about 5 more seconds for him to try to get this bomb down. He'll start to stick. Shoes will try to drop. This is Parkin's time. It's his play! And he just sits there waiting. And, well, he waits a bit too long. Not only for the Nomad to push, but to shoot as well. As you said, Well played by Shoes Raggedy on that post plant. Good attempt by Parkin to try to make that work, but overall, that was perfect play by Jesuit Dallas to bring that from a man disadvantage and health disadvantage to, well, obviously, a winnable position.
Yeah, I really want to highlight how well that Shoes Raggedy just played that. Still having 3 stuns. He kind of did like what a lot of people will do when they have nades, which is like soft nading the case so they can't counter defuse. Instead, he was just flashing it over and over again, knowing that, if Parkin is diffusing, so there's a certain range that a flashbang has that even if you're looking away from it, it will still blind you. So Shoes Raggedy knows that, hey, he's got to be here. If he's diffusing, I can just flash it. Even if he looks away, he'll be blinded, and he'll be forced off the case to try and defend himself, and at least, try and take the fight instead of just giving up his life. So he does that over and over again. He keeps delaying the time, and at some point, Parkin just says, all right, you know what? Screw it. I just got to stick this. He got full flash. That's why he was just prone to the corner, and that was an easy kill for Shoes Raggedy. So great job by Jesuit to actually take that round back. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting that. Not with all the C4s, not with the gas canisters coming out. But they just pushed in. They found their frags. So huge ups to especially Reed Sync getting that triple kill despite how low he was.
Even then, Reed Sync, he was aided by the rest of his team. You remember the mute, I believe, was Yachty sitting inside corner just next to that rotate hole. Sent a frag grenade in, even in that time. Yeah, we got nade flushed with that little time left. That is genuinely an impressive thing to do. There are top teams that could even sometimes fail in that level of coordination when the time is down that low. That's composure, I think, is pretty impressive, especially for, kids that are not above the age of 18. They are the age of 18. Still, for young people to show that level of composure with that little time left, hey, color me impressed. I was actually really, really happy to see that. And Reed Sync going huge, always icing on the cake. And that's a flawless half for Jesuit Dallas. Sunny Hills will try this site once again, heading back down to basement, and there's no roam presence in sight. All 5 members now sitting down there, and with how it's worked out before, sure, it means that Jesuit Dallas get more map control quicker, but the roaming has just not worked. Whether it's Jobu or Arhav, they just get picked off every single time. And with how close it came and how well Jesuit Dallas played off each other, it's likely imperative for Sunny Hills that they play off each other in tandem if they want to try to counter that. And Jobu finding his first pick of the match on the Maverick as well. Diffuser, drop top freezer. Sure, he still was a little bit pushed off the site, but that's still the first breath of fresh air, at the very least sign of life in Sunny Hills that was so desperately needed.
Yeah, that is a very good pick. If you're going to kill anyone for your very first kill of the map, it might as well be one of the hard breachers. Maverick now dead, and especially with that Kane on the board, likely electrifying all those hatches, it's going to be a lot tougher for Hibana to do her job. She will be able to at least open, I believe, the security hatch. She'll be able to open the laundry hatch as well, basically telling the defense that, hey, we are going to be going for a laundry freezer push once again. Reed Sync early inside of freezer, taking pot shots down range over by the locker and the rotate, trying to maybe catch a unsuspecting head off guard. They'll go ahead and start to burn utility. You can see, I believe that's actually a shield they're placed in the hallway. We'll burn away the Malusi Banshee, and the next step will be for this Hibana to take out the corner bomb player who has just moved back into Cubby.
We've already seen Jesuit Dallas work with a much lower man count and HP count, but unfortunately, Reed Sync doesn't know that Jobu's right there. He's gone undroned. The Eagle just swing out, take his head clean off, and Freezer Control still in control of the defense. A major misplay by Jesuit Dallas and makes that ability or level of play they showcased previously much more impossible. Bro falls soon after, and Jobu's doing it all right now. He doesn't need any help inside of Freezer, and he appears, now that he's trained his eye line over towards Laundry, like the final 2 members of the attacking team are not long for this world. It's Yachty to finish off one. And now with Raggedy, 25 HP, he managed to win out the last one. This is a much more daunting feat. Low HP, bomb not down, 30 seconds left, and 5 defenders looking at you. He might be able to find one for the stats, but now with the smoke grenade in his way, he is a doomed man. He is not long for this world, and Sunny Hills are in a prime position, the primest of positions, you could say, to move up 3-1, or at the very least get their first round on their Oregon defenses. Final 10 seconds. There we go. Finally finished off. A flawless round as well. But honestly, getting your first defensive round at this point, sure, it's good. It is a sign of life, as I said earlier, but it's also a little bit worrying the next 2 rounds.
A big round by Jobu, and shout out Yachty. 3 for Jobu, 2 for the latter. Ooh, they're going back to dorms.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
They have already lost this site twice. Instead of going to one of the tertiaries, meeting or dining, We're going to opt to try it again and hope that third time's the charm. I don't know how I feel about that decision. So far, Jesuit have looked lethal attacking this bomb site. They're not making any amends to their lineup, so they'll be probably going in with the same, this very similar strategy, likely with the same ferocity that they have throughout the first 2 rounds. Sunny Hills have, they've made an adjustment, though. Shout out Yachty, who's going to be on the Malusi this time, and that's going to allow Arhav to flex onto the Mozzie. So maybe they'll have a little bit more of a competent downstairs presence, rather than just leaving Jobu alone.
It is the strategy. It's not a bad one. Mozzie, kind of like how Legion used to be. Mozzie's an operator you really can slot in, and sure, you might lose one thing, but it's never bad to have him. You can always find a use for him. He's got a great gun, great gadget, great secondary utility.
10 seconds to go.
Mozzie's never a bad pick, and if their goal is to try to stop the momentum onto the site that Jesuit Dallas have exhibited in this matchup so far, could very well work if they're able to stop the drone economy to a sufficient level, or, like you said, facilitate a roam somewhere off the site by using those Mozzie pests to deny utility. Right now, Arhav appears to have placed the lion's share, 2 of the 3 pests inside a big tower or in that general area. But depending on whether or not Jesuit Dallas choose to make that part of their attack, which it's Oregon dorms, of course you will, could be huge. Right. Unfortunately for Arhav, he'll get caught off on the rotate. Reedsink finds him through the door, and while he got those pests down, that great gun and secondary utility I mentioned and potential roaming presence that could have been used by the Mozzie, it's now gone because he unfortunately got caught out, moving back towards the site. We still got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. The opening duel has already gone the favor of Jesuit Dallas.
Yeah, that's pretty quick. Not only do you get that man advantage within the first 30 seconds, you also take a C4 off the board, and there's the other roamer. We are bots, tasked with clearing classroom and taking the utility on the games while out from below. He'll not only get that utility, but he'll also get the pick. Now a 2-man advantage for Jesuit, and it has cost them, well, pretty much nothing. Not a single point of damage has been put on, and that trend will continue. We Are Bots is just going to swing the trophy door with his chest, and he'll take out another player. He'll nearly lose his life, I believe, to the C4. No, Marcus still has it in his pocket. I guess he just swung and happened to light him up. The C4 will go out now, and it'll deal a lot of damage to Reedsink and Oatmeal, but We Are Bots has since been recovered, and that puts us back in a 5 versus 2. Now, if there's any solace here for Sunny Hills, it's that Sad Oatmeal, We Are Bots, and Reedsink are all very low HP, and up against the TCSG, okay, never mind. And up against the Smoke, that's good. It's an advantage you can definitely use, but he'll only be able to find one. Reedsink has already moved in behind the bunk, something that this Smoke did not expect, and that is another round, the 4th attack for Jesuit.
Sunny Hills were not in an enviable position there. They won Laundry after, losing it once. They finally won it.
Please go tertiary.
I was about to say, as we mentioned earlier, their choice was either going to a tertiary site or dorms. Neither are great options. You've struggled on dorms, and the tertiary sites arguably are weaker than dorms. So not only are you taking a risk on a site you haven't defended yet, but it's also, at least on paper, just in a vacuum, given statistics, just kind of more likely you might lose it, just because it is that 3rd site for a reason. But at the same time, if we're looking at stats on paper, you had also lost dorms 2 times in a row, and none of those rounds were particularly close. Kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, but they opted to go to dorms, and it didn't look close. Once again, now you go to your final attacking round, that dorms gamble, the gamble that, hey, maybe we figured it out, or Jesuit Dallas will get in their way. Since you lost Arhav so early on, and they gained that early bit of momentum, and it emboldened We Are Bots to just move on in, the gamble didn't pay off. Now you have to go to that tertiary bomb site as your final round. They'll make some adjustments. They'll bring the castle into Goyo and likely try to extend up top, as, use that word a lot, but it's how you play the site. Usually move up into dorms, have a couple guys sitting up there. But this is a rough spot for Sunny Hills to be in. The only site they've won, they cannot go to. They've looked particularly weak on 1, lost it 3 times, and now they have to do this as their final one. And if you're Jesuit Dallas, even if you lose this round, a 4-2 half on Oregon, you are sitting pretty going into the next half, especially since this is their map pick.
Yeah, it might sound like we're kind of ragging on Sunny Hills a lot, but I don't know. It's hard to find
He's
positives.
on the Nomad right now.
How about that? It's hard to find positives when you're getting 4-1 on your Oregon defense. I mean, there's a lot of the same issues plaguing you here as their There we're on Cafe. And again, Jesuit are going to go for a pretty similar push, considering that in order to take leading, you need to take above, namely attic. You gotta make sure that this hatch cannot be played above by the defense, otherwise they can completely shut down your stage push, which is the most common plant spot for an attack on this bomb site. You don't really need to take upstairs, more than just clear attic and hold it to make sure no defenders can retake that position. So they've already got the wall open. All they got to do is deal with this shield from Jobu. If they want to, they can clear out Arhab as well. That'll just make it easier for those players to remain upstairs. And there it is. We are bots. He's going to start hitting it from Trophy, and Arhab doesn't expect him. That's the first kill yet again going the way of Jesuit as they still hunt for Jobu.
Big refrag from Jobu, though. He got caught out up top, which it seemed like We Are Bots was in a good position to. He'll actually take him out. Though that was their only entry on that side, sure, you don't lose a lot in terms of map control. As Harrison said, all you do is really you deny upstairs more than you hold it. The smoke got away. If Bots gets that second kill and you no longer have a smoke on site, that just swings things exponentially so into Jesuit Dallas's favor. But now that you have the smoke, who can rotate back down, send those toxic canisters over on stage to that default plant, and where Jesuit Dallas seem to be pushing, things could be a lot worse for Sunny Hills because the smoke managed to escape alive. Parkin will spot one all the way down at the end of Green Hall, but there's just some wayward shots fired both ways. Neither sustained damage. And with the kill from Rietzig onto Yachty, Parkin landing the refrag, it's still looking like the defense's game. Given the utility and the man being even, that still tends to favor the defense. Nade could be sent on in towards Atomos' position. It'll find him. It'll blow him sky high, and Jobu's on a flank up top as well. This is a bit risky. He could go big, but those smoke canisters not being on the site, that forces Parkin to do a lot or most of the work with his gun. But no, there you go. He's holding that up top. The hatch is open. He has the diffuser. And because nobody on Jesuit Dallas is holding upstairs, they have to go rotate a body up to try and take him down. Meanwhile, Bro will play cleanup on the site. One is around the corner. The question is, does he know? It appears Parkin is aware. It's an easy headshot for him, and now it's on Shoes Raggedy in the clutch situation once again. One will be downed. Smoking off Green Hall. Diffuser dropped on the floor. The Nomad has no idea where he is. Even if you wanted the kill, which he surely does, he cannot get it. Sunny Hill secure their second round on the defense. A good play by Jobu to retake up top, but it's still a 4-2 half for Jesuit Dallas on their attack on a map that, as common knowledge shows, is fairly defender-sided.
Yeah, unfortunate lack of flank watch there for Jesuit that Sunny Hills took full advantage of. That round completely in the hands of Jobu, thanks to his refrag upstairs and retaking attic to kill the planter through the hatch, while Parkin holds down the Green Hall shield. There's one thing from the attack I really have to question. It's, again, that lack of flank watch, the lack of just sitting somebody upstairs. I mean, if you know that that castle is still playing behind the shield, if you have someone, just have a drone watching the hallway, have someone standing over your planter covering stage, and have someone hold attic. There you go. Perfect plan. But either they didn't have a drone to hold, so they had to force someone downstairs, or they just didn't think of it. Either way, big play there from Jobu to retake upstairs and really win the round for his team. But now Jesuit, they get the fortune of defense. They're already up 4-2, and now, as you said, they have the advantageous side.
Also, in terms of the lineup they're bringing, it's not doing Sunny Hills any favors. We talked about how on map 1 on Sunny Hills attack, one of the big issues they struggled with was that time management, but also that burning of utility. And well, there's no shortage of that on the defense. A Jaeger and a Wamai, both for projectiles. 3 sets of nades on Sunny Hills and a Claymore as well. The burn on the side of Sunny Hills is not exactly abundant. You've got the 3 sets of flashes, but at that point, you're gonna have to start using Zofia lifelines, and with how many nades? Sure, you have an abundance, so you maybe can afford to waste 1 or 2, but still, it's if these nades are crucial to their attacking lineup, and they want those to, say, destroy the Goyo shields, or destroy the deployable shield being brought up by We Are Bots, or destroy any of the Cade charges onto the side of Shoes Raggedy. If they have to use those nades to burn ADSs or Wamais, and they end up needing those nades later on, that could prove pivotal because you didn't bring, say, an Ash, and you don't have enough burn. Well, at least for here, either way. That's a problem for a later time. As the more immediate one is Rietzig on the roam. He's 10-4 right now. The top fragger by a mile on his team. We've already seen how well he can shoot on map 1. He's damn near close to eclipsing his previous kill count. The question is whether Sunny Hills can take him down before he causes enough damage.
Nade being cooked by Jobu, and he's looking for the floor nade. A little bit tentative about it, though. Maybe a little bit wary of any window presence, or maybe acting on a little bit of late intel. But he's going to stand up on the window, and his patience will pay off. He will catch Reed Sink, the top fragger, not just on his team, but in the lobby as well. So that is definitely an impactful frag. That is also the only roamer now done and dusted, leaving just 4 men on site, though the 4 men you have to deal with are certainly very utility heavy. It's a smoke, 3 gas canisters, 2 C4s, and a Wamai. So although you're up a player, it's still by no means an easy task.
Parkin will start to make his way into Attic, successfully able to open up the wall. No Cade charge dealt with yet, so if you want to get any Hibana charges on it, you're not able to just yet. And sure, you've lost Reed Sink, but still, look at what's happening. Sunny Hills, a minute left. What do they have to show for it, aside from that first kill? They've opened up Attic wall, but they barely made any headway pushing down Attic. They've just now rotated the master bedroom, another key position, and hey, you're even able to open up bedroom wall with some of those Hibana charges. But now the question is burning the rest of that on-site utility, whether it be the shields, Wamais, or what have you, and then making your execute. But they appear to be having some of the same issues on map 1. Not to the same extent, maybe, but still present enough that it's questionable how they can clear this or manage to clear it in the final 40 seconds. King Bro will have his Goyo shield destroyed, so they'll make some headway on the northern side of the map. Meanwhile, on the southern side, they're trying to make their way into that Attic wall. With only 30 seconds left to pinch, and the execute has to come now, or at the very least soon. Atomos will think about putting down the plant to finally commit. Questions whether the coverage can be successful on the players sitting inside of dorms. The first will, Jobu doing it all, take down Shoes, Raggedy, and the plant goes down successfully. A C4 missed as well, though he'll find one sitting on the bomb like a mother hen. Oatmeal retakes bedroom. A nice shot on the Yachty as well. A great flick with the Vector, and now the site seems to be clear. There's still 3 members all gazing over that way, though, and time dwindling down. We are about to land the pre-fire. A 2v5 is now a 2v2. Make that an effective 1v2 with the Goyo on the floor. But Bots is anything but his namesake. Now he just has to deal with Jobu on the rappel. Only 6 seconds left. Time not on his side. He'll have to try to stick. It'll require a misplay from Jobu, but the info is on his side. A triple from the Sledge that round. A great, outstanding attempt by Jesuit Dallas. But the Sledge and the rest of the team that round seem to be much stronger than they were on their cafe attack. They'll get the bomb down. They'll play their post plants well, and they'll win the first attacking round on the second half.
Yeah, that was big by Jobu, playing safe on the window, not making any noise and not giving up the info for the defense. Bots unfortunately smoking himself off there, just kind of like, well, giving the Sledge a target, if anything. But all in all, that round was very well played, thanks to Jobu getting those first 2 picks, and the rest of the team collapsing onto the site, and a little bit of misplayed utility. We saw Oatmeal with a valiant attempt of retaking that round, but if you hadn't missed that C4, that might not have been a dangerous post-plant anyway. So hopefully, Jesuit are a little bit more on top of their plant denial. We didn't even see a gas canister get thrown out to counter it, which makes me think that maybe they just didn't even know it was going down until the very final seconds of the timer. But either way, well played by Sunny Hills. That was definitely a marked improvement, and I hope we get to see more of that in these later rounds, as Jesuit, not happy with upstairs, will go downstairs.
Like that site, we saw how trying dorms twice in a row was unsuccessful for Sunny Hills. I don't think that was so much their fault. I probably would have, even though it was drastic, never going to fault you for trying a site twice right out the gate. And honestly, for Jesuit Dallas, wouldn't have been a bad idea either. Sure, it looked poor, or at the very least, in the man count, going into the execute with the bomb going down, it looked poor. But as you said, it really was more so down to minor mistakes. Small individual mistakes on players, Jesuit Dallas, not collective mistakes as a whole. That'd be much harder to fix. But instead of getting this out again, as you said, going downstairs, similar hold overall. In fact, I think the same 5 ops are all present. So same strategy obviously seems to be, or the lineup seems to forget that same sort of strategy. A bunker hold, at least pique the fancy, pique the interest of Sunny Hills initially to try and burn the utility over there. Of course, Oatmeal playing behind a Goyo shield inside a pillar. Could be a bit precarious. There are 4 nades now instead of 6, but any could be sent over his way at that door. Then if they deal with the bunker player as well, that'd be an easy bit of map control. And honestly, after the opening pick last time under Reed Sink, how quickly they were, or at the very least, how they were able to transition and clear out that utility. They find the same thing here. It could go well, but it doesn't. And Yobu, the very player who killed Reed Sink last time, it's Reed Sink to get his revenge in the second round of this half.
Not only to kill Reed Sink last time, but also get a big 3K in the round and clutch out the 1v1 against We Are Bots. That's a unfortunate loss, especially being the Ashe, who is a much more utility-focused operator than she once was. Luckily, you still, though, you have the Iana and you have the Zofia. Except Maverick has used both his nades, and Reed Sink is just going to kill 2 more people. One trying to come down tower stairs, not aware of the pillar guy, and one just trying to rush right through bunker. That leaves Atomos and shout out Yachty in a 2 versus 5. They have not touched a single defender, and they have about a minute 12 left as Atomos now lets his position be known, and he'll get swung on by Shoes Raggedy. Shout out Yachty, now in a 1v5 ace clutch situation with the diffuser on the other side of the field.
Well, the release tag, We Are Bots down to low HP, but with the confidence
this guy
and knowing
wants
exactly knowing that this round is close to ending, he'll swing. Probably not the best idea in terms of longevity for his life, and honestly at this point, it's generally a good idea to not give away the man count, because now you're in a position where Oatmeal gives his life away. Bots is finished off. Sure, it's a 1v3, still hard for Yachty, especially given the position, lack of utility burn. All right, man. Shoes Raggedy is sus in the middle of the bomb site. But shout out Yachty.
Why?
In his 1v3. I don't know why, but we are looking at it. That is kind of odd. But here's the thing. So far, the play in this clutch situation from Jesuit Dallas have been a bit sus overall. Never mind, I was about to talk about how, hey, maybe Yachty could bring this back. There's King Bo. King Bro, I should say. A bro fist him back out of the rotate hole and win the round for Jesuit Dallas. 5-3 as we stand after what seemed to be a stronger round from Sunny Hills is quickly countered by a round that was only not flawless because 2 members on the defense gave their lives away.
Amogus. When the imposter is sus.
Guys, I saw Yachty vent. He's sus.
Shut up, man.
Will you shut up, man?
I just want to get away from it. Why does it follow me?
Mongus.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Anyway.
While you were chasing girls, I mastered the way of the task.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Alright, well. Emotional scarring aside. Good round by Jesuit. Specifically Reed Sink, who just killing 3 people. That was it. That was the round.
And, you know, Sunny Hills kind of fumbled some utility a bit. I think both of Parkin's nades were ADS because they didn't officially clear out the Pillars ADSs.
Yeah. And also, Reed Sink killed 3 people.
I mean, yeah, that one. Kind of important.
And he killed
3
3
of
people
5.
because Sunny Hills didn't really clear a lot of utility. They didn't have any trade ability. They kind of walked in. Reed Sink was like, aha, yes, thank you. And then shot them. Now, though, Jesuit got to retry upstairs. Did someone just... Atomos almost got spawn peeked just now?
I believe so.
That's pretty funny. Thank God he wasn't. Otherwise, this round would suck to attack.
We've already seen what can happen when you lose your hard breacher. Obviously, it still ended up working out in Jesuit Dallas' favor, but it did cost them a lot in terms of time and ability to open reinforcements and use utility. Atomos coming with his life, sure he's at 50 HP, but still in a position to open those walls, which that's where the execute came from on Sunny Hill's 1 successful attacking round so far. So if you lose that, you now have to decide how exactly we want to allocate that Maverick Torch. That could have been a big pick. But of course it didn't happen. So what is actually going on? Well, they're clearing out down below, trying to clear out those mute jammers off a bedroom wall so Atomos can lay down those X-Kairos and open up those holes, which makes We Are Bot's position a bit tenuous to continue playing. As soon as those get open, he'll have to rotate off unless he decides to try and take bedroom away from the attacking team. Likely would be an ill-fated play, and well, since he's taken some damage because he sat on the wall, he'll rotate off. Move to white. Still a bit tricky of a position, but he'll at the very least be alive. Final minute and a half. Still a 5v5. Both, in fact, 4 players on full HP. One player on both sides on 50 HP. It is dead even.
Prone on top white.
Ha!
Secondary SMG.
I've seen this one before.
Hopefully, We Are Bots does not pull a Canadian and actually finds his frag. Is staring down Jobu right now at the bottom of the staircase. Despite the wall being open, I don't think it's actually open enough to, like, move through. He put a C4 there.
I don't know what that's going to do.
Jobu has now also walked up Freezer stairs, despite the fact that someone on the defense is in the basement. I
don't know how that happened.
That's a little weird. They just, you know, passed by each other like ships in the night. Again, no utility clearing means that nade is going to get captured, and there's We Are Bots with the first kill onto Jobu. Look at that. Prone on white stairs. It worked for him. That means We Are Bots is officially better than Canadian. Congratulations, my young sir. It's a 5v4 now, leading the last 30 seconds. And again, Atomos cannot actually move through that wall, despite having the diffuser. They'll drone out and make sure that, yes, the Wamai is still here, but you've got to contest with a shield, and that's never an advantageous fight for Parkin. So that's another kill going the way of the defense, and still no response. There's the flank from the player we saw in the basement earlier. Shoes Raggedy gets one. We Are Bots with another. That's two for the price of one. Arhav finally finds one back, but there's only 5 seconds left, and there's still 3 bodies to find. He'll get a triple on the round, but it doesn't really matter, does it? A sad oatmeal finishes him off, and Jesuit, just called him Jesui again. Jesuit will put themselves on map point.
That round again looked like a return to form for Jesuit. The first one didn't convince you. This second one did, that they are a force to be reckoned with. Not in this series, or at the very least, you know, over the course of the season, them being, you know, 6-0 and all. That didn't convince you they were a tour de force. They are. They are a force to be reckoned with. And on match point at the moment, Sunny Hills not looking like they have much of a chance on their attacks. It's concerning, to say the least. Though, honestly, the thing is, I know, you know, we talk about their time management, their poor utility burn. That first round looked good. Sure, they were a bit slow. Sure, they didn't burn all the utility, and it was a little bit incumbent on a missed C4 and some lack utility on the side of Jesuit. But it still looked better than most of their attacking rounds so far. Made it into bedroom, managed to get the bomb down. They covered it well. It almost got brought back due to the individual play on their side, but it's almost frustrating to watch a team that seems to have 80% of what they need to do figured out in one round, and then in the next couple, they just almost seem like they get the Men in Black pen. You just forget it. The utility burn, it wasn't there.
Reed Sync just goes, hey, look at this for me.
Look at this. No, but seriously, Jobu isn't given the same opportunity to kill Reed Sync. Sunny Hill struggle of burning the utility.
Speaking about Jobu, how did Jobu and Shoes Raggedy pass each other in the basement?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
I do not know. But seriously, the utility burn round 1 looked solid, better than it was. It has completely fallen back to what we saw in Cafe in rounds 2 and 3 for their attacking half. Playing out the roamers as well. Managed to get it round number 1. They fumbled the bag in rounds 2 and 3. They made progress in that first round. It looked like a better attacking half. They were just narrowly close to tying at 4-4. And now it's looked like Jesuit Dallas are outplaying them at every turn, and Sunny Hills don't seem to know how to get in the building half the time. They'll go to the tertiary site now, and as I mentioned earlier, this might be their best chance to claw one attacking round back for their team. They've got to fight King Bro, who, while sure he's not performing, he's with Reed Sync, who's 13-6. Narrowly caught out, but he finds Atomos, downs him outside the window. Sure, you can't confirm that, but already that's time Sunny Hills have to dedicate, making sure that nobody's peeking Atomos, and of course, it's time that they have to pick him up so their hard breacher isn't taken down in the opening duel.
Atomos nearly getting atomized.
Oh, see what you did there.
Aha. And like you said, it's going to delay time, and that puts your primary hard breacher on very low HP. Now, lucky, again, you know, you have Maverick, not the end of the world, but with the fact that he's already used a decent bit of fuel on the attic wall, he's really going to have to be conservative if he wants to open up the stage, especially because Reed Sync just took out the Hibana, who went on to the Kids Repel. So that is a very good opening frag, and he'll find a second onto Arhav. Shoes Raggedy trades out his teammate onto Parkin. That is now both the hard breachers dead. In comes Jobu. He doesn't see King Bro, and that leaves Shout Out Yachty. in a hopeless situation. Sad Oatmeal will put him out of his misery. Jesuit Dallas, they take round number 10 and another 7-3 victory.
Yet another one that in the aggregate didn't look particularly close either. There were flashes of brilliance, like Cafe, on the side of Sunny Hills. On the attacks, they seem to be some improvements, at the very least, in one of their round wins. They seem to also have at least some of their defense figured out, though it still ended a 4-2 half. I think that's the more kind of awkward side of it. But overall, while they made some improvements, they just weren't able to consistently, I guess, implement them across the rounds. And sure, we've gone through Cafe and Oregon, definitely the more structured ones in the best of 5, but you're down 2-0. And you're going to a map like Villa, who still requires some semblance of structure. So I don't know. We'll just have to see, but it will require a reverse sweep for Sunny Hills to win at this point. But don't go anywhere. We have map 3 of Villa coming up soon. We'll be right back after this quick break. All right, everybody, welcome back. If you missed it, well, it's been a hell of a game for one of the teams at the very least. Jesuit Dallas are up 2-0 right now, as you can see in the handy little, nope, always mess it up. There we go. Handy little scoreboard up above. One Cafe 7-3. They won Oregon 7-3. Now we're going to map 3. Harrison, just give us your prediction. How could Villa go? What's your hypothesis? All right, never mind. Not going to talk about it because Harrison said no.
Villa plays very similarly to Cafe, actually, and Oregon. It's not as linear as Oregon. It is slightly more flexible than Cafe as well. But it does play very similarly. It's a 3-tiered map. two very distinct sections. That's kind of unique to Villa. Is it's almost like two very small maps mashed into one. That's how a lot of teams like to think about Villa. I don't know. There is honestly not been a lot in this match so far to convince me that this isn't going to be a 3-0.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, as much as I would love to see Consulate or Coastline, I'm just gut feeling a 3-0.
That's how I feel as well. And even then, if you were to get to maps 4 and 5, Jesuit have also looked very strong in the fragging department. You know, you got We Are Bots going off, Reed Sync going nuclear in maps 1 and 2.
Nucleosis.
I don't know, nucleosis, if you will. It's not looking great. But of course, before we do get into the map, as mentioned earlier, have another read from our wonderful sponsors. We're talking about the Intel Winners Cup again. Because, if you recall, the Intel Winners Circle, if you forgot, remember how I said it couldn't count? Well, it is $50,000 in prizes, including a guaranteed $1,000 scholarship if you're just now tuning in and you're like, hey, I'm going to college. That might be useful. Well, as someone who you know, Harrison, I think you might be able to vouch. Is $50,000 a lot of money?
Yes.
It is.
I wish I had 50K.
Harrison is my quant on anything. I believe him when it comes to that. It is June 14th to the 25th. Again, some of the best esports teams are competing. So if your school is an esports team, participate. If you don't, start one up. Come on, be a trendsetter in the hallways.
Yeah, and be a pioneer.
And it doesn't have to be Siege. Overwatch, Valorant, Super Smash, whatever game you want, you can do it at the Intel Winners Circle for $50,000 from June 14th to the 25th. I'd take that deal in that game any day. So again, thank you to Intel for sponsoring us. And go participate. Come on, something fun to do. You like video games? You're watching this. Do it yourself. Be like We Are Bots or ReadSync, and be the standout player for your team.
And Intel makes good processors too.
They do
personally
They do make good processors.
For Intel processors, as long as you have the right CPU cooler.
As the man who founded Intel, Harrison can always vouch for that.
That's actually my last name. My last name is Intel.
Yeah. Remember at the beginning of the stream, I said Harrison Crow last name. I wanted to protect his identity. His name is Harrison Crow Intel. He founded it.
It's short for intelligent,
which is oxymoronic considering you.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Also, I was just kidding because like Intel is its own thing. It's actually short for intelligence, not intelligent. But we should be heading to the map shortly. Hopefully, all the players get ready soon. But
I want to see
ReadSync throughout 2 maps has gone 28 and 10.
This is why I told you he's my Quan. Do you see how quickly he did that? That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, that's still a ridiculous kill count for 2 maps in a series. That's
28 and 10 is pretty tremendous. That is a 2.8 KD, which is very good.
20,
especially in a game like Siege where you only have 1 life per round and you typically can't heal. That's pretty freaking good. We also have We Are Bots, not as well, but still 20 and 14. Still very good.
Still positive. And also, as an important factor, it always seems, obviously, they have been traded out every now and then, but Sunny Hills have struggled with their cohesion, struggled with getting those refrags, and when those players have not gone untraded, they've gone on to be some of the big playmakers in that round. And for map number 3, shutting them down is going to be the biggest, or one of the biggest hills they have to overcome, because when ReadSync or We Are Bots go untraded, they always seem to make a big play later on. ReadSync's triple inside a pillar being one of the most recent examples. So maybe the ban phase will swing things into Sunny Hills' favor, or maybe we'll start off with Jesuit Dallas, once again, looking like the favorites.
This is Sunny Hills' map pick. We are back to theirs. So hopefully they'll be able to show us something nice. First ban, of course, will be Jesuits as they start on the defense, and it will be Thatcher. Because why wouldn't it be?
Crazy.
I mean, seriously, what are you going to ban instead of Thatcher? Well, apparently it's... The second one is Jackal. That's a little weird.
That's kind of odd. I ain't gonna lie.
Jesuit have played Jackal approximately once. That was on
Cafe.
Cafe. and they didn't use the foot scanner. So Jackal is also not a very popular operator on Villa in particular. Well, all right, maybe Sunny Hills just has a vendetta against the Spaniards.
They just had a bad time during ranked in Velvet Shell. Not a fun time back then.
They went to Barcelona. They did not enjoy themselves.
Well, either way, what the final ban is, it's Valkyrie. No surprise there.
They really hate Latin-based languages.
I suppose.
Fun fact, English is more Germanic than it is Latin.
I think you've actually told me that before.
Yes, we do borrow a lot from Romance languages, but our root is Germanic. That's why we share a lot of words with German, like fish. You know what fish is in German?
Is it fish?
It's fish. You know what meat is in German?
Beef.
No, it's Fleisch, which is like flesh. Which is why you ever hear the last name? You ever hear the last name Fleischmann?
I have actually.
That means butcher, because he's
what do you know?
the meat man.
Ooh,
basically.
actually, no, I shouldn't say that.
There's like a Schumacher, which is shoemaker.
I was going to say one of my family members' last names, then I realized that's not something you should do on a broadcast.
Nice.
However, it would have related to a Germanic word translated into an English word. I can't tell you after.
You know what is weird about German though?
What?
The German, you know how French and stuff, everything is like le or la, everything has a gender to it.
Same with Spanish.
Whatever, like chair is like a feminine.
Well, a lot of the Romance
noun
languages
for whatever
are
reason.
a gendered-based language.
Yeah, which is dumb, right? So in Germanic,
Implicit premise aside.
they have die, der, and they have das. Those are the three main ones.
Yeah.
Like die is feminine, der is masculine, and das is gender neutral. So like the man is like der Mann. The female is like die Frau. Like the boy is der Junge. But for some reason, girl is das Mädchen. And I don't understand.
Why is it gender
and then
neutral?
I don't know. But then when you plural it, it's die Mädchen. It's just the same word, but a different the, and it's the feminine version. Anyway, enough of that. Reed Seekers are going to get absolutely clapped by Shoutout Yachty mid-throw. So good night, Reed Sink. He tried to go for a play. He said, "Listen, boys, hear me out. I'm a hit a lick," and instead, he got licked. Well, I don't know if I want to.
He got hit.
You know, I already said it. I'm sticking to my guns. He got licked, and Shoes Raggedy. Well, he's gonna lick back before getting licked himself. And now it's a 3 versus 4 in the favor of Jesuit, in the favor of Sunny Hills, and they still have 2 whole minutes to attack, and they only lost the Nomad after she already put down some air jabs. So they still have plenty of utility to deal with the site play as well.
Yeah, it's not great, but again, as you said, after she put down all her air jabs, that is... more air jabs put out, that's less and less of an impactful frag, especially when you already lost the opening duel and that kill was traded out. One of the problems I mentioned Sunny Hills had was playing off those trades, and at the very least in round 1, they appear to have that at least somewhat better in this particular instance. Fortunately for at least Atomos, I was going to say them, but Atomos in particular, his feet are within the sight of the drone hole, but down to 50 HP, not dead, he can thank that, as he will live to move on. Flashbang sending over top, a nade actually is sent over top, no ADS is there to catch it. That's easy, or an easy down onto King Bro. Oatmeal knows he has to make a play. He'll send a C4 over, and it actually will find them? I am in disbelief after that one. That was a slow travel time, landed on the box. I guess they just didn't hear it, didn't see it, but whatever it was, you're now down 2 men, and you're in a 2v2. Sure, you got Arhav on Oatmeal, excuse me, and King Bro's on low HP, so it's still... at least in the aggregate, favoring Sunny Hills, but one of them has a C4, and the other has 3 of those smoke canisters, none of which have been used. And you only have one guy, if your goal is to get the bomb down, you only have one guy who can hold the plant. This went from a winnable situation to a tough battle that Sunny Hills now will find themselves in. The first smoke canister, actually the second smoke canister will go out. Meanwhile, Yachty hits from the back, finds the head of one, and finds the body of the second. What looked like dangerous waters that Sunny Hills find themselves in, we brought back and put as a win column, the first one in quite a while for Sunny Hills, thanks to the individual play of the Zofia at the end of that round.
There's a little bit of lapse of coverage there from Jesuit, I guess, assuming that both the attackers would be pushing from the same side. They were completely unaware of Shoutout Yachty. A little bit ironic, considering that he made a silent play with that name. Also in
Yachty
all
was shout out
caps.
nonetheless.
Indeed. Just shouting out bullets into
What
the
if?
back of the Smoke's
Wait.
head.
What if? Hear me out. What if instead of like him giving Yachty a shout out, it's like a command?
Like he was telling people to shout out
Yeah,
Yachty?
like he's like you read it and he's telling you to shout out
Attackers
Yachty.
need to locate and
Well,
defuse
shout
the
out to
bomb.
Yachty, whoever that is.
Or what if it's like a characteristic and then every time you kill someone, he shouts out the word Yachty?
Like he kills someone and goes, Yachty!
Yeah, like he kills
Like he
goes,
kills, like he,
Yachty,
like,
Yachty!
yeah, like when he slung those two guys. I see, that would be, I mean, I feel like that would be a little bit annoying. But for his
It's not a little bit.
Or like he has push to talk on, so he doesn't bother his teammate.
I was about to say every time he dies, yes. Like, oh, thank God he went negative 4 and 10. We only had to hear it 4 times. And it's a pain when he aces,
5
dude.
seconds left before insertion.
This is an odd bit.
Attackers' objective is
It's
to
an odd
locate a
bit.
bomb and defuse it.
Odd road we went down.
Alright.
Anyway, changing topics entirely.
Reed Sink's gonna do the thing again.
He is. Hopefully he doesn't die. Last time he
Choose
kinda
Raggedy
did-
is gonna prone under the window. Okay.
What are the odds this works? Over under.
They should call him Shoes Ratity.
Well, there goes Reed Sink again. He did the thing, which was dying
no, wait,
again.
there's no way they know. There's no way they
They
know,
just
right?
do not know. They do
have
not
no,
know.
They have no freaking clue.
This dude is dead. All right, well, he just got knifed. So she was Raggedy after that brilliance, and Reed Sink dying in the exact same spot. He'll rotate off. Jobu not able to catch the Jaeger on the flank, likely because since nobody droned there, they didn't expect a Jaeger prone below the window. And Shoes Raggedy will actually make a good play. He'll listen in, heed closely to his comms, and he'll hear Adamos go on the drone. The moment he hears that sound cue, he knows he's safe to rotate off, and he gets to fight another day. Whereas last time, he managed to find the trade and then got traded out by Sunny Hills. Because of that poor timing, he's able to get away scot-free. Get away with highway robbery, if you will. Move down below, and sure, it's an even man count, but he's still alive to not only cast doubt in the mind of the attack, but to waste time as well. Or if he's not dealt with, go on a flank later on. You still have Jobu, those air jabs, and Yachty on cam, so it's not a guarantee, but it's still more dire straits
Bomb located by
for
attackers.
Sunny Hills than they were last round.
These are dire curves.
Device ready.
I hadn't considered that.
Okay, well, maybe you should. Should be more inclusive. But wouldn't it be funny if Shoes Raggedy stayed there and like after shooting the drones, Sunny Hills are like, he fell.
Surely he's not there.
But then he was still there. For the second round in a row, Adamos is unfortunately going to expose his feet to King Bro. And we'll see if for the second round in a row, a nade puts him down. Now, King Bro is retreating much earlier this time. Wise play from him. But Sad Oatmeal is going to take a little bit of damage covering the classical hall, and he'll have to back off. So he won't have that shield to play with, and we won't have that double kill C4 that we saw in the previous round that Lily saved either. Another drone comes out, it will spot Sad Oatmeal playing over by Books, and now we've got the 90 cutoff from Parkin, waiting and watching for someone to push through. About 30 seconds left, just over that on the clock, and that'll prompt the first gas canister to come out from We Are Bots. Waiting with the second as Shoes Raggedy is maybe looking to come up red as this main push is coming over towards the skull doorway. The smoke is safe behind this shield as King Bro finds one on the Parkin. That's the 90 flank coverage now dead. It's something that the attackers are going to have to worry about. Adamos exposing himself to red stairs, but Shoes Raggedy is unable to connect the shot, but still, it's a distraction nonetheless. That's going to take away Arhad. He'll be able to get the kill, but he's lit up, but the plant is going down from Adamos, and there's nothing to stop him. Sad Oatmeal, no, he's actually able to get it before he died. Arhab just a little bit too late on the trigger there, and Jesuit somehow are able to claw back round number 2.
Looks like Recoil got the best of 2 players in that round. You saw Shoes Raggedy kind of coming a bit to that Jaeger. Recoil had a nice, clean, easy lineup, but unfortunately, not only was he a little bit off center, Recoil kind of bouncing a little bit. Forced him to miss those kills, but again, as you said, it served as a distraction nonetheless. Even though he didn't kill anybody, it's still with 30 seconds left going for an execute. The moment somebody shoots you in the back, you just go into panic mode sometimes, especially if you're close to that position. But then they kill him. It's 3v3. They go on for the plant. Adamos is just a second away from getting it down. and the Twitch is covering. Sees the head of the Goyo, fires the shots, but again, recoil, jumped a little bit, got the best of King Bro on top of his aim, and either aim being a little bit off or King Bro peeking a bit too far out of the doorway. And despite him cleaning up the kill, managed to find the planter. Overall, once again, Sunny Hill start off a good note. Reed Sink basically gave his life away a second round in a row. They got the momentum even with the trade. But because of the flank from Shoes Raggedy, creating a bit of chaos, and the missed shots from Arhav, that was a winnable round, or at the very least a winnable post plant that we will no longer see because those shots were missed. And again, I want to commend Sunny Hills overall. That still looked like a solid overall AVG attack. It was just more so some missed shots, dying seconds that cost them that.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Someone said in chat, I am very smart in German.
Is he?
Oh, he said, ich bin sehr klug. So, I mean, maybe. I can't debate that, so. Sure.
Take your word for it.
Said, King Bro is their best.
You won't be able to do this for very long, by the way.
What?
Holding
the bullet hole thing? Well, you don't know. It's a leak, you know. Maybe not confirmed. Unfortunately for We Are Bots, he will have to settle for damage onto Parkin. Not a kill. Reed Sink is now in the corner.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Could tell by our reactions. That was a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't really know what I guess I know what the plan was. It just wasn't a very good one.
Attackers have located
So,
a bomb.
Jesuit will lose the first pick, but it is refragged by Shoes Ragged. Down goes Parkin. Down goes your Iana. That's a decent bit of intel as well as a decent bit of utility no longer on the board. So, I mean, if you're going to refrag your mute, you might as well get hurt.
Just the year is Reed Sink should be putting his team in this position. He's vaulting out a master window on a trophy statuary defense.
Reed Sink has been the opening pick every round so far.
Yes, he has. In fact, the first 2 rounds, they were both Yachty onto Reed Sink. The third round obviously was different. It was Parkin on Reed Sink. But the point being is that Reed Sink has been the opening pick.
They've also all been in Master.
Yes, they have all been in Master. The point I'm trying to make, stop doing that. You are mute. I know it's boring. I know you have a shotgun. You're antsy, Reed Sink. You're 30 kills right now, or 28 kills, excuse me, almost 30 kills. Just chill out. You're putting your team at a man disadvantage early on in the round and giving them no chance to refrag. And the only reason you're getting refrags is because Shoes Raggedy's getting kills on the other side of the map. We Are Bots in the similar position, or at least the same area as the Jaeger. You'll find one, but once again, it is traded out by Jobu. It's even because of the early kill by Reed Sink when it could be a man advantage. Shoes Raggedy will try to retake 90, though he'll try and fire some shots all the way from the top of red to kill Jobu in that position, who hasn't placed any air jabs, by the way. He's got 3 in his pocket, so well, it'd be ironic if he gets killed on the flank, but if he dies, there are no air jabs that could either potentially be used for post-plant or that could be used to deny a flank by any member of the defense. 30 seconds left. They'll try to make their push all the way to classical. The Aruni's not even looking. The intel not relayed to the defense. A curious play to say the least, but there you go. Shoes Raggedy will find the Nomad. No more air jabs, and your entire southern presence now completely eradicated. Arhav will push in, spot the Goyo, miss the shots, but land the second set. But they're both on low HP. With the plant going down, if the coverage is successful, only one body will be necessary, but Shoes Raggedy doesn't have the intel. Even with the low HP, that's an easy kill for Arhav. And Sunny Hills, they'll take the lead for what feels like the first time in forever, and what might even be the first time this matchup.
It is. It is the first time they've had the lead. Good job to Sunny Hills.
Dude, you know what'd be awesome?
What would be awesome?
If Reed Sink, that was purely an accident. I'm sorry. If Reed Sink, stopped giving his life away in the first 30 seconds.
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool. Because that was a winnable round. Made less possible because he decided to vault out bedroom window.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Going for plays. Listen, I get it, okay? I watch far too much YouTube than I should. Going for plays like that is flashy, worth bragging about, and it's cool. I get it. However, when those plays don't work out, you have that. You put your team in the man disadvantage, and you just kind of look like a fool. Reetsink has done that 3 times in a row, 2 of which were the same, but the final, the most egregious. Could have used that C4 for later, or could have aided in weathering the storm that was the site pressure from Sunny Hills. Instead of doing that, he tried to go for the play. It didn't work, and if Jesuit Dallas are going to try to gain the next 3 rounds in a row and take the lead back from Sunny Hills, Keepin, who so far has been your top performer, but is now 0-3, somebody got to relay that that bit of advice in the comms.
Well, he's on Goyo now, so someone who's already put their utility down, but just like Mute, you know, he's still got a C4. Something else we saw too was Sad Oatmeal not look at 90 despite that being where the Nomad
Yeah,
was
that was kind of odd. That was
a little weird.
Yeah.
So there's been some miscommunication on the side of Jesuit. Also, maybe been a little bit of over-aggression, you know, getting a little bit too ahead of themselves. Hopefully we see them dial it back because, you know, when they're not getting too peak crazy, that's when we see them shine. So hopefully we get a little bit more conservative play. Partners go ahead. Yonder drone in. Shoes Raggedy will take it out quickly. Sunny Hills appear to be going for a very similar push as they did in the round just prior.
Nothing at all to write home about yet. Still haven't acquired too much map control. Yachty on the rappel on that western side, watching 90. Will cut off the flank of Shoes Raggedy, so his options to rotate out are limited if he wants to keep his head. We'll have the support of We Are Bots moving up main stairs, and again, while it's not the craziest thing right now, no action occurring, Sunny Hills are in prime position to catch at least one of the defenders on their rotate, and there you go. The head of Shoes Raggedy found by Parkin. I believe that was more so. No, it was from the angle. I believe there's a hole made in Aviator wall. Spotted the head of Shoes Raggedy at the very least. Oh no, that was on top main. Well, either way, found the head of Shoes Raggedy. It's the opening pick going to favor of Sunny Hills. What is the player that usually gets the refrag for one of his teammates is the opening duel. And Reetsink, the player that Shoes Raggedy normally has to cover for, he's death number 2. And Sunny Hills, they're in the man advantage.
Sunny Hills looking a lot better on Villa so far. Sad Oatmeal is going to start to push up on the main breach, curiously enough, looking for an unsuspecting victim. He'll let one slip by, but I'm pretty sure that attacker didn't actually see him. As he moves through, he actually loses the fight. Arha with a brilliant reaction there onto the Aruni, leaves Kingbro and We Are Bots now in a 2 versus 4. Let's quickly try to equal it out as best they can. It's 2 picks unanswered, but there's the swing from Parkin, finding the 90 player. Kingbro gets one of his own, still a 1v2, but as he hits the air jab, his location is now broadcasted to the attackers.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
User control back in Jobu's pocket. Takes a little bit of damage, but the pre-fires come through, and Kingbro decides to walk right into it. A big 3K there for Parkin and Sunny Hills with their 3rd round.
That one, as opposed to the previous 3, I will say, whereas the previous 3, you know, we hammered the point home of opening picks being given away. That was definitely more so Sunny Hills has cleared out the roam pretty effectively. Managed to isolate Shoes Raggedy inside of AVG, take him down. Reetsink as well, not entirely sure where he was playing or where the kill came from, but either way, adding on top of that, you're never going to complain about another kill. Good play there. That was, I would say, the first time in a while where I was like, you know, about everything went right there, I think, for Sunny Hills. Sure, it wasn't the flashiest thing, but they held their angles. They cleared out the roam effectively in good time as well. Managed to get the XP down. Now, of course, we did have that gunfight between Arhav and the Aruni, where the Aruni flicked on and actually down the Twitch, but kind of whiffed the gunfight. Maybe he should have won if he just aimed a little bit more to the left, would have nailed the head of the Twitch, but unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes. But it still looked like Sunny Hills' best round. I don't know in the entire series, but still up there in terms of the echelon of that area. So now they're up 3-1 on Villa attack as well. I know we weren't convinced that they might have this at the beginning of the game before we got into the match, but now looking a bit more confident. At the very least, we might see them transition Villa into their first map win if this trend continues.
5 seconds to go.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Well, 3-0s are never as
Attackers
exciting.
must locate and defuse a bomb.
We are going to be heading on to Aviator games once again. Like that, Jesuit are 1-1 on. See if they can go 2-1, or if Sunny Hills will start to run away with their lead. Again, they will clear from the Master side of things, as they have done every single attack onto this bomb site so far. And this time, I don't believe ReedSync is playing in Master, so we can all breathe a sigh of relief. The Shoes Raggedy is in Astro. He's very quickly going to start to fall back. Thank God.
Pushing your luck, they're definitely not the smartest decision. In fact, he'll start to move his way down to basement. Shoes Raggedy and We Are Bots have been the roaming duo so far in Villa.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Ooh, I was about to say, maybe he has some intel on the player above, but that player will walk right over the C4, glide past what surely would have been an untimely fate had We Are Bots had the intel, at the very least the gumption, to just pull the trigger if he did not know. Honestly, it's the safer play, but of course, only we know the kill that he ended up missing. Still having it down below. He does know that, well, they're pushing up top. In fact, they'll definitely know now that Yachty fired some shots over towards Shoes Raggedy, but neither the kill on the Jaeger nor the C4 on the side of the defense will net any fruit for the defenders. It's only a couple, about 25 health points of damage done to Atomos. That is all the defenders really have to talk about in their round so far. They're starting to waste time. In fact, they've wasted quite a lot of time. A minute 30, and We Are Bots and Shoes Raggedy will continue their reign of terror downstairs, and it's ReedSync up top, taking 90 to begin his very own reign with a headshot onto Parkin, moving back into sight. It's a bit risky for your smoke to push out that far, but Sunny Hills, they definitely appear to be on the back foot and stalling.
There's also ReedSync's first kill, finally. A slightly over-aggressive play, I'd still call it, but this time it is successful. That's going to leave Sunny Hills, like you said, on the back foot. -1 man. Still not a lot of utility cleared out. Smoke will allow that player to push into study, though, but still got to worry about Sad Oatmeal at his backside. One shield goes down to the classical hallway, and that prompts ReedSync to move up, and he'll get both of the players playing 90 with 1 mag of the SMG-11. Kingbro finds one of his own. It's just the Hibana Crouch walking in sight, but he can't do anything. Jesuit will finally stem bleeding by taking a flawless round.
Certainly a convincing one as well. Good timing. That is also around ReedSync, got a 3-can, finally made an appearance on the scoreboard. And opening it up there, again, it was a bit of a risky play, sending your smoke into 90, but it is what not only opened up the defense for Jesuit Dallas, but at the same time, also put Sunny Hills on the back foot. You saw that push. They sent one man to 90. The moment he died, the 2 players sitting inside a board didn't quite know what to do. They're like, well, he pushed out. We got to drone it again. That's fair procedure. Not going to critique that. But it was at the point where they started to succumb to some old habits. Waste a little bit of time. Stall out when they need to be moving forward. Now, of course, I'm not clowning them for taking the time to make sure that nobody is inside of 90, but still. It's exactly what Jesuit Dallas needed, and it's exactly what has been hurting Sunny Hills this entire matchup. Jesuit Dallas are still, of course, in the round disadvantage. They are down 1. If they win this one, they'll even at 3-3. For Sunny Hills going on their defense, an even half is still not only the best they've had so far, but good on a map like Villa. Of course, there's also the first time Jesuit Dallas have defended Kitchen, so it's a bit of uncharted territory, not only for us as viewers, but for the teams as well. Jesuit daily mess up. ReedSync gives himself away early on, or anybody gives themselves away early on. That very well be a 4-2-half for Sunny Hills.
No, I know. I've seen them defend this site.
You watching in? Watching out practice?
I'm just
Oh, so you're just a liar. Oh, you're on mission. Sorry.
I'm on mission.
That's pretty cool. How many fingers am I holding up?
It's like every other Asian.
How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
Crap. Yeah.
Even if it wasn't 3, it's 3 now. I'm also omnipotent.
No, man. No. They misdroned him, man.
They misdroned Shoes Raggedy. That is not going to be good, and it doesn't look like that drone is coming back. So if someone hops through the painting window, they are done for. This is also the second time Shoes Raggedy is going to get away with this.
If we're being fair, I wouldn't have turned my drone around there either.
That's a fair point. Atomos is going to jump in this window, and he's going to die.
Yeah. Unless he's lucky. Unless he's like, what if there's a frost? And he looks down. What if there's a man below this window? I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll see.
It's taking a long time. I'm like at the edge of my seat right now. I want this to happen.
He's taking a long time to do it. I'm kind of tense right now. I almost
drove
can't
it
even
into a
focus on
jammer.
anything. Well, whatever. We'll see if he jumps in. He is also hit.
He's got another one.
He has a second. Attackers do have 2 drones. So, if you're wondering why we're fixating so much on Adamos vaulting in, well, in one part, it's because we have ADHD. On the other hand, it's also because not much has happened. We've just been waiting not only for Adamos to jump in, but for Sunny Hills to seem to be doing much of anything.
Oh,
Jesuit
here it is.
Daily,
Here it is.
No, Jesuit Dallas, excuse me. It might be.
Jump
Do
in.
it. Come on.
No! Oh, no! He's leaving. Oh, well, at least, all right. At least, oh, there it is. Oh, he got the kill anyway.
That's whatever.
And that's after Parkin was killed earlier by, I believe, Sad Oatmeal. So that's 2 kills in a row. It didn't actually require Adamos to jump in the window, but Shoes Raggedy still found it nonetheless, and he still wants to keep control of this diffuser. King Bro is going to push out of the site, out of China, into Bicycle, and find a kill for himself before he's traded out by Arhav coming up from the basement. All right, that's it's a little bit odd, but still 2 versus 4, and there's only 30 seconds left. What has Sunny Hills done this round? Well, effectively nothing, except get those 2 kills. In comes Shoutout Yachty. He'll hit a Legion Mine, and that'll broadcast his location. An easy swing for Shoes Raggedy is there, but Arhav is just in the site, and he's gonna get a triple kill. Shoes Raggedy, he's still stuck inside a Memo, but he does have diffuser control, and Arhav is gonna have to fight with very little intel. Shoes Raggedy is gonna hit the prone, look through the doorway. Arhav does not check his corner. It's a 3K in the round for him, but it is not enough. Jesuit are able to recover the half. Unfortunately for Sunny Hills, their lead was short-lived.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you, I got scared there. I saw Arhav push from the back again. By the way, I know he got a kill, and I know you're gonna be like, but he got a kill. What's the point? Do not be in basement at that point in the round. Be with your team. Play together. But of course, sometimes, even not necessarily the best positioning will result in a fortuitous circumstance.
What if? What if the team is in basement?
Well, that's a completely separate concept. The team is in the basement. Of course, be them. Be them. Be with them. And be them. In fact, take after Rousseau. All coalesce into the general will. Or if you want Hobbs, coalesce into the Leviathan. And use your mighty fist to stomp his feet. Hold on. To smash! Smash the defensive setup. The point I'm trying to make is play with your team. Even if you get a kill. But
speaking of playing with your team in the basement, if you want to attack from the basement, look no further than the cool epic rush strat 2.0.
Those of you
brainchild of Mikey.Yanel of Lenny GG and
for those of you who do not watch Rainbow Six Challenger League, first of all, please do. Harrison and I cast it, not together, separately, but we do still cast it. We are there. It's very fun. But the cool epic rush strat 2.0, not explaining what the 1.0 is, but the cool epic rush strat 2.0 is what you do. Do you know the wine barrel where you can put a breach charge on it? It's at bottom red. Open it up. Send 3 people on in, usually a Zofia, or alongside a Zofia. Open up any barricades in the way. You send it up red. Open up that softball on a bicycle. Then you move on in. That's the cool epic rush strat. And hey, I think it worked. Yeah, it did work.
Did work. That was
it was both cool
2 rounds. They went under.
It was both cool and epic. That less so, but that strat was.
It was.
That round was cool. The other was epic.
Thank you, Mikey Nam. But Reed Sync is yet again going to be the opening death. Not having nearly as much luck as he did in the first match. Thank you, Jodu, for putting him up there. Shoutout Yachty is going to get the second kill of the round before Shoes Raggedy refrags onto him. So all is not lost just yet, especially as Shoes Raggedy gets another one. There is a Wamai chilling behind this shield about 2 feet away from every other attacker. And he currently has his pistol out. And he is going to actually... Wait, they traded?
What?
All right, they actually traded there. So it's an even 1-for-1. But that means neither team comes away with the advantage either. It's still a 2 versus 2. And there's still a minute 35 for the attackers to play with. And Atomos, the smoke, is pretty low on HP up against an Ace and an Ash. There were 2 players that you probably want to be left in this clutch situation. I would definitely take these 2. I would not be opposed.
I am just amazed that was a trade.
Oh, I also just noticed that The master wall is open, but it's on the side of the wall that sucks. And Kingbro doesn't have any ace charges. So that's unfortunate.
He used
They
his last one
also
on the softball.
they also still have Astro Cam up. Kingbro thinks there's someone Astro stairs, when in reality Atomos is just in the middle of the room. WeAreBots will drone. All right, WeAreBots is not going to drone out Astro. Strangely enough, oh, he will see the smoke playing right next to the boxes. Atomos is going to swing aggressively, and he is going to lose his life. I'm not quite sure why he did that with 40 seconds left to smoke. And Parkin is just going to miss his shots, and WeAreBots is going to kill him with the pistol. What the hell was that round?
Yeah, that was okay. That was okay. There's a lot to unpack there. So, okay, so remember how Mastro was open, as Harrison so eloquently put it, on the side that sucks? Well, that situation could have been remedied if you had an ace charge. But he did not have an ace charge because he used the last one to open a soft wall. Which, you know, whatever. However...
It's an important angle.
It's an important angle. However, they had 6 breach charges between the two of them. So, bit of poor utility allocation on that one. However, that was only the tip of the iceberg for the curiosities that were included in that round. First and foremost of which, you're at a 2v2. The attackers, who have not opened Bedroom Wall, and their only option is, again, the side that sucks. They either have to push in Bedroom Door, or push in Astro. They do not have the ability to clear you out. In fact, one of you got misdroned. And the person that got misdroned said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna peek in bathroom. That was not the play. That was really not the play, actually.
He got misdroned. And then he got re-droned, and they saw him, and then he swung. At half HP, as smoke, with 3 gas canisters in his pocket, against an AK-12.
So in a situation like that, you wanna play back.
5 seconds to go.
Relax. It's a 2v2. I know the make out's even, but you are strongly favored in that situation. Just hang back, play for trades, because if you give picks away like that, you're looking more like Reed Sync than a winning team. You're just giving your life away. And that basically gave, well, 2 things gave Jesuit Dallas that round. 1, that final opener in the site, but also Shoes Raggedy single-handedly opening up that round for his team early on. It was looking... He got 3, exactly. It was looking daunting, especially the fact that the Wamai, as you said, was just sitting behind that shield next to all the attackers. He just walked over and killed them. Sure, he got traded out, but that combined with those 2 early kills, Shoes Raggedy was the saving grace of that round, and then Sunny Hills served up the rest on a silver platter.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit confused as to why Atomos didn't just play with the gas. Like, bathroom door is very tiny.
One person could fit through there.
Yeah, you just can't push it. Well, Jobu is going to try and remedy whatever happened last round and grab a point back for his team as he takes out Kingbro very, very early. And it's Zofia dead with a Malusi on the board. That's a little bit unfortunate. And okay, and Reedsink is just going to walk in and kill him. Epic.
All right.
Unfortunately for him, the Gone 6 shot will be absorbed. He'll throw a nade out to try and get that Banshee. And what?
What?
He was unsuccessful. That's kind of weird. And he has no more nades. And he doesn't have a Gone 6 shot anymore. So that Banshee is probably going to stay up for a while. This wall is also muted. Not a lot of things going wrong for the attack right now. We'll see if that clears the jammer. And it did. Oh, look at that. Now they can go ahead and they can breach the vault wall. It's not set up for the impact trick, but there is a C4 from below. That long-winded distraction of the mute jammer is going to result in the death of 2 of the attackers. Great heads-up play by Arhav. And Shoes Raggedy is left in a 1 versus 3. He is in vault, but he can't make his way out of it. And Sunny Hills will take round number 8, tying us once again.
That is so unfortunate. That is just... Oh,
it's pretty funny.
It was funny, but that just sucks, dude. I mean, sometimes the game just says no, and that's one of those situations. But like, dude, I mean, Gone 6 getting ADS'd, okay, that's on them. They didn't clear it. But that nade, like, there's just no reason that Banshee shouldn't get destroyed there. It is a paper map. A frag grenade not only would eviscerate the map, it would likely go through paper. And yet, the game said no. So, That's unfortunate. The C4 as well. That was just a good play by whoever killed him. I believe it was Arhab down below. Don't know if it was a pre-placed or if he rotated down and threw it, but either way, the wherewithal and the foresight to make that play, excellent work. Because it brought what could have been a winnable round from Jesuit Dallas as they look to be gaining momentum despite the little issue they had with the Malusi on maps. Stopped them in their tracks, and they're pretty easy pickings after that one. So they'll move back to Trophy. The side that has not worked out for them, though that was mainly because of some late round misplays, and overall their play looks strong. And actually, Sunny Hills have looked fairly strong on Villa as a whole. So going into the rest of this, I think it's possible that we see map number 4. Obviously, they have to sustain this play, and Jesuit Dallas kind of, they need to not pick it up for that to happen, but it's the strongest they've looked the entire match.
Dude, Arhab had so much foresight. Like 5 sight.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I just realized?
What? Oh, that's a good point.
I thought it was as well.
Yeah, just so everyone's clear, no, the bit is that Carter asks me or tells me, you know what I just noticed, and then he doesn't say anything. I started that bit.
He did.
And then he
We Are
started
Bots will
using it
start out the
against
round.
me. And now We Are Bots is going to walk into the basement and kill Arhab. Remember when Arhab did that? Except it was like 2.5 minutes into the round. We Are Bots is going to do that 30 seconds into the round. But a very slim angle being played by Jobu around that shield is going to result in a trade as King Bro will go down. And there you go. That's Zofia. Again, a very important utility pick off the board all the way over towards Study. Unfortunately for Parkin, he will only hit 1 body shot with the MP5. And because that thing shoots like a water gun, it's really not going to do a lot. Their most immediate point of concern, though, should be this shield and clearing Jobu the heck out of it.
He'll kind of remain there. Meanwhile, all the action will happen around the Goyo. He has burned so much projectiles by just sitting there, but unfortunately for him, he stays a bit too long, but there wasn't much of a chance of him surviving either way. He'll burn a lot of utility, but he'll lose his life. Reedsig takes him down. It's a 2v4. Map control, and overall, the chances for Jesuit Dallas both looking much stronger than they have previously as they're able to begin to mount and execute on the site with still 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. They'll drown out at least one of the final ones. They'll know the Jaegers in Boar. Well, there's not much room for him to rotate. He's kind of stuck here. He'll try to land one of the headshots onto the attacking team. He'll miss. Now it's Parkin in a 1v4. The C4, it's too late for him to play down below. He'll stay a bit too long on those red stairs. Now he'll rotate, try to find an angle down on the first floor. A C4 as well, but it also misses the ceiling. Still does damage to Shoes Raggedy, but at this point, not much of a hope unless Jesuit Dallas decide to misplay this round entirely. And with Reed Singh holding your flank, not a good chance that he's going to misplay that engagement. Jesuit Dallas, I believe, retake the lead in this map. 5-4 after their most dominant round, or their strongest looking round at the very least, on the attacking half.
You are correct. They have retaken a 1-point lead. Good job to Jesuit for not letting that Goyo shield close to the door fluster them too much. Sure, they lost a man to it, but immediately they stepped back and they were like, hey, let's just blow him up. And they did. They burned away necessary utility. They even used an air jab to burn it.
I saw.
And I think maybe even in... Did they have an ace?
They used a lot to burn.
They used a lot. That's the point I'm getting at. But it was worth it. They killed him. And they even had a kill come before that. They had a huge advantage going into the side push. And you could see, too, like, once they got that advantage, the Iana droned into Astro. They took a step back. They were like, all right, where the hell are these guys? They drone into... They Iana cloned into Astro. They see there's no one. They flood. They start droning further, and the attackers start moving further, and finally they spot those defenders, and those defenders are very short-lived. Plant goes down, and there's really nothing that Parkin can do. And yet again, we're going to see Trophy, and yet again, we will see this Goyo shield from Jobu. I mean, I don't think the attackers are going to get tricked by that twice. They already cleared you once with only taking 1 casualty. I would be very surprised if they even lose a single man clearing it the next time.
Well, it seems to be another misplay in site selection. It mirrors the situation we saw on Oregon. A little bit different in temporally speaking, but on Oregon, Sunny Hills have their defense. That just wasn't funny.
No, you said it and it reminded me of tempura.
I knew exactly what it reminded you of. I knew exactly what it reminded you of. I was not under any illusions as to what the word temporally reminded you of. Mr. Ordered 50 rolls of sushi for himself.
Actually, I ordered 6 today and 8 pieces of sushi.
Oh, wow. Okay. I actually had sushi last night. Now I'm kind of hungry. Anyway, stop distracting me with food. My point being, Sunny Hills on their defense on Oregon went dorms twice in a row, and they lost it twice in a row. But then later on, they went to dorms again instead of going to the tertiary site. Surprise, surprise, they ended up losing it. It's a similar situation here. They've lost trophy twice now, and instead of going to that tertiary site, they've opted to go for it again. Again, it's only a minute in. We don't know. This round could go the favor of Sunny Hills. But right now, 2 members are on low HP, one of them being the Smoke, the other being the Goyo with the C4, on 25 and 50 respectively. And Reedsing has popped the head of Yachty. Sure, he might not be the same damage in terms of utility, but it's a man gone. Atomos, due to a nade being flushed out, he'll be forced to peek. Raggedy finds him on the cross. Excellent kill onto him. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now that Arhav has fallen, he's potatoed the shots on the TCSG. The first pick will go their way. Raggedy on the entry, but it's Reedsings to even it out. King Bro kills one. I thought there was a kill from Jobu, but he's likely not to get any. 25 HP in a dream. A headshot for Reedsink will seal his fate. And that decision you made to choose between the tertiary site or the site you've lost twice, well, you chose wrong 2 maps in a row, but this time it's cost you match point, and you need to win 3 rounds in a row. Sorry, 2 rounds in a row if you want to prevent the series from going 3-0.
Was that a 2-piece? Or sorry, was that a 3 or a 4K from Reedsink?
I believe it was a 3K.
Okay, I'll write it down.
Also, as you can clearly see,
looks like I might have a rehost.
Somebody DC'd. Obviously, thankfully, because of the in-game pause feature that was added recently, we actually do not need to rehost the entire lobby, or at least we don't have to yet. We might have to if it does not end up working out, but in theory, should just be able to come back. We are, of course, waiting to see if the rehost will get called if he's not able to reconnect. I hope so as well. With this pause feature, it has significantly decreased the amount of rehosts. I say significantly. Seems like we still have a sound bug every 5 minutes, but beyond that, we'll have to see.
Hopefully, my main complaint with rehost, or the main reason why I don't like rehost is not because it's time consuming, but because it resets the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying for tracking kills.
Yeah, so hopefully, Mr. Production people, multiple of you, we can get a screenshot of the scoreboard before the rehost, and I can add that to the end of the game because I like numbers and I like them being accurate. I'm Asian. That's a thing we do.
Again, you're my quant. I trust you to get the numbers right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so it's match point for Jesuit Dallas. What?
Sorry.
What?
Am I a quaint quant? I'm sorry. As you were saying.
Okay.
Jesuit now on
it's been a long night.
map and therefore match point. They are 1 round away. 1 from taking a 3-0. 3-0. That is that's not great if you're SHHS. You're shus.
You're
Yeah. They have 2 rounds. They can do it. They took wait, hold on. I'll show you my notes. Right there. See that? Rounds.
Wow, we actually can.
Rounds
can't
3
read it
and
because your
4.
handwriting is atrocious, but
Rounds 3 and 4. See, it says trophy right in the middle there. There's 2 check marks on the side of SHHS. They've taken 2 rounds in a row before this map, except it was on attack instead of
it's on the other side. But
you have to get defense wins.
Just look past that.
They did win AVG, and AVG has just unlocked. They can get that. They can bring it to 6-5. I'm hoping, and
please.
I'm on my knees. That if they win AVG, they do not go trophy again. Please don't go trophy. Go dining.
Harrison.
I believe in you guys. Sunny Highs High School. Sunny Hills. Wait.
Yeah, it's Sunny Hills. Don't worry. You got it
Sunny
right.
Hills?
Don't second guess
Okay.
yourself.
I was right. Sunny Hills High School.
It'd be redundant if it was Sunny Highs High School.
See, that's why I was like, because I thought I called them Sunny Highs by accident before, which I probably did because I'm an idiot.
It's fine. I said Jesuit Daily earlier. Like, that's a newspaper. Like, that's what Peter Parker worked at.
But they just need to go dining. They need to roll the dice. At this point, you've lost trophy 3 times, man.
Hey, hear me out. Hear me out. What if?
Living room.
What if we come back and they go to trophy again?
No, man. No. No.
Don't do
Don't
that.
do it.
Don't do it, please.
Don't go trophy, please.
Don't go
Never
trophy.
touch trophy again this map unless you like literally have to, which you actually don't, because you can take AVG and then go dining and then we go to overtime, and then you can also not choose trophy there. But of course we got to get through. We got to get through this round first.
Of course.
Um.
And what do you know? It's AVG. Who would have thought?
It is.
Who would have thunk?
It is AVG. Who
Attackers need to
the
locate
thunk?
and defuse bombs.
Oh wait, we didn't have to rehost. Let's go. Poggers.
Don't ever say that again. He said it slower, so it was more excruciating.
Exactly. Atomos is 1-9.
That is not great.
Arhav's having a day though. He's 13-6.
He is
after
having a day.
going,
He
Arhav
are
went-
having
he
a
went
day.
11. He went 11 and 8 on
Getcha.
map 1. He didn't do double digits on Oregon though. But Reed Sync went from like 0-4 to 12-7. So he is on the aggregate. He is now 13-3. He was 28-10. So he is now 40 and 17.
That is still good. That is over
That
2
is-
OKD.
Pretty tremendous. In fact, 40 and 17 is like
I believe
that's a
in you.
hard fraction.
You got this.
2.
Yeah, 17's a prime number, so you can't reduce it.
2.3.
Also, 14 divided by 18 is 20/9.
Like 2.3, so 2.35. I feel like 2.35.
Something like that.
2.3 was done. 0.05 was a wild guess. You know, it's not a wild guess though.
Jobu's position.
That they knew, and Reed Sync was like, I don't know if that's actually the noise he made. Basically, he's eating up, is what the metaphor was there. Lucy is also in 90. I don't think Parkin wants to be there, so he's going to start to fall back. After losing an operator like Jobu and one of your 90 players and giving up all this utility, the last thing you want to do is be giving up picks and shots.
Yeah. Minute 40 seconds left as well. Minute 20 passed. Usually when you say, you know, X amount of time left, it's because the majority is eclipsed. But no, we've just now reached the midway point of the round. And while things haven't progressed too much from the previous position, at least in terms of kills, the map control has steadily moved in the favor of Jesuit Dallas after that opening pick onto Jobu. They'll meet some resistance. The X-Kairos, again, muted once again, as it has been the entire time. Now they'll have to spend some time to open up that mute jammer, but they have that time. They have somebody rotate over to study. That's Reed Sync to watch the flank once they try and get the bomb down. On top of that, they already have players in positions to go for those plant. Made a bit more tenuous now that diffuser's actually been dropped inside of 90. Shoes Raggedy does not have the diffuser. He could be going for the bomb here, but because the diffuser was left inside of 90, while he has the map control, he does not have the bomb, and he doesn't have any friends either. All that's left is we are bots. So hey, you got site control, you got map control, but now We Are Bots is alone by himself. You'll find 1 kill onto Atomos. You'll make him 2 and 10. Certainly better kills for the cave. He's only got 35 seconds left. The Fuser dropped right in front of the doorway, so all eyes of the defense are trained on this position. It'll be a tough hill to climb. He's 6 and 6. If he gets these next 3, he'll go positive and win the grand finals for his team and deny overtime or maps 4 and 5 for Sunny Hills. Doesn't see anybody yet. 20 seconds now gone since we first started this situation. A C4 will fly out. Won't take his life, but will take 50 HP from the Ash. Now what is he to do? Well, he's to die at the hands of Arhav. going on double digits himself. He'll take Sunny Hills their first round in quite a while. And 6-5, they just have to get one more. And since you can't go AVG, please, for the love of all that is holy, do not
Dining.
go trophy statuary.
Dining. Ready? Let me
Dining.
see dining.
Dining.
No.
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 No. No. Don't know.
No.
No. No, you're kidding.
They
No, they locked in.
Site
No,
three
no!
times. They have lost it 3 times.
No, come on, man.
Why?
Come on. No.
All right. Please tell me there is some fundamental difference in the way they're playing this site. Because if I see that Goyo shield setup again, I'm just gonna lose full. My mental.
Oh, they're doing it.
All right. The mental's chalked.
Dude, we were on our knees, man.
And they didn't care. I'm about to start stress eating mid cast, bro.
Oh, I'm in shambles.
If I were 21, I'd be drinking right now.
I need sashimi now. Staff.
Salmon?
Please.
I had salmon and yellow. I had 4 salmon and 4 yellowtail today.
5 seconds left.
Yellowtail is so underrated.
You know I'm a big shellfish guy.
Attacker's objective is to
You are a
locate
big
the
Last night,
bomb and defuse
last night I had some shrimp tempura that was really good. It was not a shrimp tempura roll, but it was tempura based.
That's cool.
And I think the other one, what was the other one? I can't remember. I don't remember what it was. I think it was shellfish though. I think it was like crab or lobster. I think it was crab maybe. I don't know.
You ever have urchin sushi?
I've not. I have stepped on an sea urchin though.
You gotta get revenge. What?
All right, they just use C4 for the rotate hold. We are already starting off good, boys.
Why does Wamai have? Why does Wamai have procs and not revenge? They already have Barb and Malusi. They took procs. All right. Either way. All right. Either way, here's the utility clear, and there it's all right. It's been 45 seconds, and there you go. Goyo shield done. All right. All right. At least, all right. Jobu's not dead though. So there is that.
bomb located by
Yeah.
attackers.
Hey, the proxies are going off too. They're coming in handy.
Oh.
Well, there's that Malusi there. But beyond that, Jesuit, Dallas are rapping at the door, not only of the site, but Sunny Hill's chances at carrying this through. Again, if you recall, Sunny Hills have played this bomb site 3 times, and they have not won it once. With how quickly that utility was cleared, and Jobu not exactly being in the strongest position imaginable, if the frags go his way, which they won't, he might have been able to pull it out, but Shoes Raggedy will go in, take him down, rotate back. Our half falls as well from Reed, Sink hitting it from a different way. Yachty will rotate back, so at the very least, he's there to support his team, but all he might be doing is witnessing the downfall of their chances, and he won't even be able to do that for long.
Wow.
Outermost falls, Perkins in a 1v5, and it's a flawless round to seal off Jesuit Dallas, who are your HSCL Grand Champions. You won Cafe, they won Oregon, and now they've won Villa. And let's be honest, maybe you wouldn't been here if you didn't defend Trophy 4 times in a row.
And Reed Sink getting a quad kill, 17 and 8. Wow. 17 and 8 for Reed Sink. That guy was 0 and 4 at one point. I would like to remind everyone.
Don't talk about numbers with me.
12 and 8 for Shoes Raggedy.
Not anymore.
Like we
They're
said,
not raggedy anymore.
earlier, he's gonna be Shoes pristine pretty soon. And Arhav was the star performer today for SHHS. I did it backwards. He went 15 and 7 that last map, but unfortunately, it was simply not enough. Well, the onslaught that was the Texans.
Yeah, it wasn't. But anyway, that's over.
Hurry up.
Obviously, we still got some more stuff to get through, so we'll be back right after this short break. But while you're there, get some water. Feel free to congratulate the Jesuit and the members from Texas. Sorry.
GG's.
Jesuit Dallas. I don't know why. I saw the JCP and it threw me off. But either way, we'll be back in a little bit. Still got some stuff to do. Don't go anywhere.
What's in Zaxby's new General Tso's sauce? Legendary chicken, legendary sauce. The new General Tso's boneless wings. Only at Zaxby's. Redeem rewards, scan to pay, and order ahead on the Zaxby's app.
All right, everybody, welcome back. If you missed it, well, the series is over, so that is incredibly unfortunate of you, but you can stick with us for just a little bit longer. It was a 3-0 in the favor of Jesuit Dallas, 7-3 on Cafe, 7-3 on Oregon, and a much closer, but still victorious 7-5 on Villa, netted them the 3-0 in that series. And hey, that's the grand finals of HSEL. Of course, this isn't the end of everything. HSEL Homeroom is back for a second season, and they got 3 weekly shows. Follow some of the top high school teams in the nation to battle for the spring major championship. There's more than $30,000 in scholarships up for grabs. The weekly schedule is Overwatch on Mondays at 7 p.m. ET with Chef Billy and Bull Skunk. Valorant on Tuesdays at 7 as well. They're all at 7, by the way, so I'll just implore you to remember that, with Doran Leg Day. And then Rocket League Wednesdays, again, at the same time, with EuroLeague and Digital Bacon. Of course,
What a
Overwatch,
great name.
Valorant, Rocket League. That is actually a good name.
Digital Bacon?
All fun games, all good games. We hope you'll be there. I actually didn't know about High School Esports League in high school when I started getting into esports. So I wish I had. It's a very cool program. I'm happy to be a part of it. And of course, since I just said earlier, Harrison, Jesuit Dallas won. We have our interview.
We did. We
Tell us
do.
about it.
We do have our interviewee. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you King Bro. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm happy to win.
I would imagine so. You guys took a swifter contest than I think a lot of us expected, including yourself. Would that be right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I know we were talking earlier. You know, you said you guys have only played Villa as a team once before.
Yeah, that's right. We were fully expecting to go into Villa and probably lose that map. It was definitely close down the wire. They had a lot of really nice strats for that map, and thankfully Reed, came back from his 0-4 slump
Yeah.
and carried us to the win.
Yeah.
That guy, yeah, we were very surprised that guy went from 0-4 being entry picked 3 times in a row to finishing 17-8.
Yeah.
So
we were making fun of him a lot for it, so kind of sad he top
You
fragged
got
at
it.
the end.
You got in his head. It sparked a drive in him.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone was keeping track, but Reed Sync actually ended up going 45-18 across 3 maps. That is an average of 15-6 per map, a 2.5 KD. So
that is really good, by the way, for if you're watching and you didn't think that was good. I can confirm that is very good.
That was really good. So when you say you only played Villa once, do you mean in a league environment?
Yeah. So we actually only began stratting it beginning of playoffs this season. Our first game against the BC Bears, we had to play Villa, and we kind of rapidly were like, "Oh shoot, we got to strat this, don't we?" Because they picked it as their map. So we kind of hastily got on, compiled a little strat together, and used that, and that's the one we kind of used at the beginning on this map. So.
Okay. You guys, so Carter and I, Lynx and I, aren't very familiar with the high school esports league environment. Do you guys scrim?
Yeah, they got some windows on Saturdays to scrim, but most of the time it's kind of like unofficial stuff through the HSEL website.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just kind of get in contact with any of their teams and say, "Yo, kind of want to play you guys," and they'll be like, "Oh, all right."
Okay. That's good. So you guys do get some good practice in. So are you a senior?
No, I'm a junior. Everyone on the team is a junior, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you guys will be able to stick together to the end then?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool. Are you guys already looking at colleges?
Oh yeah. We're already starting that kind of stuff. Taking the SAT, ACT.
That's cool because I know because the grand prize. I mean, you guys get $5,000 in scholarships to.
Yeah,
pretty sure any school of your choice to split amongst you guys.
Yeah, that was definitely pretty happy about that.
That
man.
Yeah.
Dude, that could $1,000 could have literally paid for my entire first semester of community college.
Wow.
That would have been great. But I suck at the game, which is why I passed.
Doesn't help that he plays at 1600 DPI either.
That's too high. Ugh.
Don't worry about that. I wrist aim. Listen, I'm Asian. I'm built different. But King Bro, again, I mean, huge congrats to you guys. I mean, you guys showed up. I remember actually seeing you guys because I remember my friend was casting HSEL finals last time, and did you guys win there?
No. We got 3-0'd on that one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I mean, hey, you made a nice comeback. It's a nice story. You guys go from getting swamped the first final to absolutely crushing it the second. I'm sure, scholarship money is going to come in handy. It was a pleasure to watch you guys. I mean, really everyone on the team was having their moments too. There wasn't really one person who was really lagging
Everyone
behind.
showed up.
So, yeah. So, King Bro, again, I mean, huge congrats.
Thank you.
That game was incredible.
Yeah, thank you. You guys did
And
great.
have a great night. And if I don't see you again, have a great rest of your life.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.
That was very sweet of you. Look at that.
Let's go.
Wishing him well.
Look
Well,
at me. I can be nice.
I unfortunately
Why am
have
I
to look at
purple?
you. I don't know why you're purple. I thought that too. Either way, yeah. I was about to say, let's make him not purple. I was echoed a little bit of my producer's comments to make him not purple. So you can see, this is finals week here at HSCL. We just got through Rainbow Six, Rocket League yesterday. There are
not tests though, not that
not
kind
tests,
of finals,
not
the good
kind of
finals.
But it is a play on words. However, tomorrow, May 19th, is Overwatch. Of course, all of them at 7, except chess, which is at 8:30. I actually don't know why that is, but that's funny for some reason. Overwatch, 2 guys 1. That's why. Overwatch, May 19th. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, May 20th. Chess, May 20th as well. We got 2 games in one day, as you can see. I actually didn't realize that till now. My literacy skills, not competent. Valorant, May 21st to round out finals week. So you still got 3 more days, 4 separate games total to go through. Talking about games, of course, separate IPs.
Oh, I'm not purple. Let's go.
You're not purple. You're not purple. And before we go, we just have one final sponsor we would like to thank. And it's not a tech company like we have previously. It's the Army National Guard. The Army National Guard, you can start a career in exciting fields like science, communications, engineering, and medicine. Really, the Army, the armed forces in general, provide you a wide variety of opportunities, no matter the field you want to go for, all while earning money to further your education, which is, of course, something we hold very important here at HSC. After all, the prizes and scholarships. Get paid to learn skills in high demand and rewarding professions, all while serving part-time to your local community, state, and nation. To learn you can become how to become a citizen soldier, visit nationalguard.com. And that's it. That's it for us.
Maybe you'll be able to play chess.
Harrison is a big fan
I like
of chess, for context.
I am.
He's been playing chess for a long time.
I know you're all video gamers, but watching chess with commentary, the commentators are good, which I'm sure they are. It's actually kind of entertaining, especially because it's timed chess and they just start like screaming when the clock runs dry.
Harrison has a fascinating explanation of how chess is similar to Rainbow Six Siege, but unfortunately for you guys, doesn't have time to explain.
That would take too long to explain.
That would take too long to explain. But I have been Lynx. He has been Crow. We've had a great time here at HSCL, and we hope to see you all next season for HSCL Rainbow Six. And with that being said, have a good night. Have a good rest of your school year.
Wait.